Yeah, I got money on my phone and money on me. I got all these hoes, but still lonely. They've been blowing on that strong, but still so weak. I've been higher than a drone, but still low-key. We've been sitting on the floor, they in the nosebleeds. Lately I've been in control, they can't control me. Yeah, they about to get exposed for being so cheap. I've been sticking to the code and I ain't gon' cheat. Yo, grew my hair and took the grill out. Think it's time to put it back in. Trying to get into that big house, turn the crib into the mansion. Needed something with that big bounce. You know I had to hit Jackson. Aaron Rodgers with the quick routes. I'm with the gang, we packing. We on the field at Lambo. Might peel in a Lambo. Running drills in my camo. They know what the M stand for. Still got fam in Hawaii, yeah. Couple fans in the lobby, yeah. Couple grand in my pocket, yeah. Couple grams of wasabi, yeah. Eye it up, no glasses. Light it up, no matches. Wife it up, no ratchets. Might turn my wife to an actress. And we gon' make a movie, no Kim K. Give a fuck about what your friends say. I got money on my phone and money on me. I got all these hoes, but still lonely. They've been blowing on that strong, but still so weak. I've been higher than a drone, but still low-key. We've been sitting on the floor, they in the nosebleeds. Lately I've been in control, they can't control me. Yeah, they about to get exposed for being so cheap. I've been sticking to the code and I ain't gon' cheat.
I'm just sticking to the code, I keep it so G. She asked me what I smoke, I'm smoking OG. I don't fool with too many, only catch me 4 deep. Gotta stay away from snakes, swear these people so creep. I've been grinding for a minute, many labels so sleep. These rappers drop a song, be hot for about a week. I put Gucci on my toes, I keep some cold feet. I ain't paying for no hoes, you niggas know me. I'm about to body the beat. I keep me a hottie with me. She wanna for a fee. Give me that for free. Keep me some money on me. Smoking the gas, keep. You with me, sheesh. Bonito, cheap, keep.
I got money on my phone and money on me. I got all these hoes, but still lonely. They've been blowing on that strong, but still so weak. I've been higher than a drone, but still low-key. We've been sitting on the floor, they in the nosebleeds. Lately I've been in control, they can't control me. Yeah, they about to get exposed for being so cheap. I've been sticking to the code and I ain't gon' cheat.
Yeah, head up in the clouds, though they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test, now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, don't know what is in me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in mine, yeah.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like. Yeah, you about to see me on demand like. You know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On a roll, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Mafia, oh God, Bitcoin just stuck in the range still here, guys. We did get a little drop to the downside, a little pop to the upside, but I'm going to break down the charts for you guys and talk about what I'm looking at for the next move on Bitcoin. We do have two very, very specific levels that I'm looking at. We do have liquidity sitting above our recent highs as well as a lower level below us. Are we going to go down and grab that lower liquidity, or are we going to rip up first? And what does Bitcoin need to get the massive, massive move up? If we are going to see this bigger retracement to the upside continue, what is that next key level that we need to break? And I know everyone's going to say, Frankie, we know the value area low at $91,000, but I want to talk about another level that I'm looking at, which is somewhat confluent with what we've been looking at in the past. So we're going to be talking about it, and hopefully we could get that breakout for Bitcoin. But if we don't, guys, we are obviously going to short that thing down to zero. Speaking of shorts, the short wound up playing out a little bit more today. Not too bad. Took a little more profit on that trade. Guys, we had a fire scalp setup in the premium Discord, and I don't know if there's quite a pain that is comparable to missing your own setup on Bitcoin. I'm going to talk about it in today's live stream. So without further ado, guys, shout out to the CandleMafia. Don't forget to smash that like button. Every 100 likes we get gives you guys some extra chances to win some free crypto on Friday night's live stream. If we get 1,000 likes on this live stream, somehow in this boring price action, we will be giving away, I think we're going to be giving away some Cardano. Maybe we'll start giving away bigger bags of Cardano. We've been doing Solana. Maybe we'll switch it up back to Cardano, but we'll give a bigger bag. But yeah, shout out to the CandleMafia. Thank you guys for tuning in. We got Wayne C in the chat. What is going on, bro? We got Darren Does Things. Says, hate to say it, but Max Payne is up now. Shout out to Darren Does Things. Max Payne, baby, Max Payne. I'll be honest, guys. Max Payne could go in both directions. You could have Max Payne to the upside, Max Payne to the downside. A lot of people were getting bearish at those lows. I would not be surprised if we get this continuation to the upside on top of the higher time frame signals that we've been looking at, which I will go over in just a little while. Shout out to Gen Z. Says, I'm confused. Shout out to Gen Z. No worries, bro. I'm going to try to clear it up for you tonight. Let's see. Shout out to Reaper. Said, don't you have issues with the volume profiles, Frankie? Seems they are lagging recently. Shout out to Reaper. I don't know exactly what you mean by lagging, but I'm going to show you the local profile that we were looking at in the premium Discord and why the volume profiles, at least for me, have not been a problem recently. Sometimes, it depends on the price action. Sometimes you get some choppy price, and if you can't make a clean range, sometimes they're a little bit more difficult to trade. But I'm going to show you how beautifully this one has played out, at least up until now. And if we can continue to fill the range, we might be able to get our move back up to the 88,000s. But yeah, shout out to Reaper. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you, bro. We're going to break it all down tonight. We got Kodan in the chat. We got Rigo, Eric, Nikki94 Boo said, what up, Mafia fam? Bing bong. Shout out to Nikki94 Boo. But what are you guys thinking? What do we got? Tony dropped in a little poll here. Where do you think Bitcoin goes next? A lot of people are thinking 91K. I like it. That's definitely the biggest target to the upside. And again, I'm going to show you that big key level that we must break if we want to see that big rip past $91,000. So I like it. I like it, Mafia. Let me know, Bulls versus Bears in the chat right now. Are you bullish or bearish over the next couple of days? Let me know in the chat. And without further ado, we got Melissa. Shout out to the female CandleMafia. And show the mods some love. We got Tyler Durden said, I can do that. Shout out to Tyler Durden. I don't know exactly what he means, but shout out to Tyler Durden, guys. Show the mods some love in the chat. You know who they are. Shout out to Tobes in the chat. What is going on? We got 9 to 5 Crypto. What is going on? Said, love the Mafia saw. Shout out to 9 to 5. But yeah, guys, we're going to break down the chart. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump 91K, and Cody destroys Cena at Mania. Shout out to TD, man. But yeah, let's see. Bears short term, bullish long term. I like that. I like that. Bullish for Friday. Okay. I'm a bullish bear. I like that as well. I'm probably a bullish bear as well. But yeah, guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into the charts. Let's get into it. Sick. The stream deck's not working. All right. Now, let's get into the charts. Unbelievable with the stream deck. But yeah, guys, here we are on the Bitcoin chart. And, as you guys know, Bitcoin's just kind of been wiggling around inside its larger profile. And these levels remain exactly the same, guys. We're just kind of bing-bonging around here. Last night on the live stream, I was talking about how we were short from the high here. And we did wind up getting that to play out a little bit more. I did take some more profit on that short position. And we actually did have a scalp long here. I'm going to go over that in just a minute, guys, because Bitcoin moving when I leave the desk for literally 30 seconds needs to be studied. If we have any scientists in the chat, in the Mafia, please, for the love of God, somebody look into that for me. Why does Bitcoin always move the second I leave the chart? It's insane. But we did get that set up in the premium Discord, so I will go over that. And I did aggressively enter a long, pretty risky. But yeah, I did aggressively enter in on a retracement, so we'll see how that plays out. So I am actually in a little scalp long as well. Also holding my long from much lower, waiting for one of these bigger levels of support to get hit in order to potentially add to that bigger long position. So we'll see what happens there. But overall, guys, this volume profile pretty much does remain the same. I did extend this over to the current price action. Value area low sitting at $81,580. POC sitting right here at about 84K. We also have a CME gap down here as well, making this somewhat of a confluent level on top of the 786 retracement. And then we have the value area high still sitting at about 89,317. And guys, we do have a little bit more interest up here, in my own personal opinion. I'm going to bring up some liquidation heat maps and talk about, are we going to come up here and sweep the rest of this liquidity? Because we do have some above. And then we have another area of liquidity. This is kind of what I wanted to go over today. 91K, 82K, 83K. What is going to come first? Are we going to sweep the upper liquidity? Are we going to come down to the lower liquidity? And I'm going to talk about that and show the heat map in just a minute. But yeah, this is the overall range, just in the context of this profile, just kind of sitting above that POC, right? As long as we remain above this POC down here at $84,000, we could potentially keep the door open into that value area high. And again, because we have that liquidity up there, it may start to act as a magnet for price. But with the opposite end being a magnet as well, the liquidity is sitting down here. Again, I'll bring that up in a second. Are we going to get sucked up here first? Or are we going to get sucked down here first? I'm going to talk about how I am personally handling the charts here and the next anticipated move. So that is the general kind of larger range that we're looking at. And as you guys know, $91,000. I will go over this very briefly because we've covered this a million times. But obviously, the value area high / 786 Fibonacci retracement right here is coming in between about $89,235 and $91,163. So this is going to be our next key level of resistance above, right? So if we come up first, we will be looking for shorts up in here, probably scalp shorts at that point, because as you guys know, when we looked at the higher time frames yesterday, we had been looking at some potentially bullish setups for a continuation to the upside. But locally, guys, this range has remained exactly the same. In the context of this, not much has happened. I'm going to zoom in to the lower time frames, talk about that little long position that we had from down here, and just kind of go over the local levels as well. Because this is kind of the range that we have been trading, or we are trading right now, while we're waiting for like the bigger play out to happen here. But I'm going to come back to this. I'm going to go back down into the lower time frames. But first, I want to cover the higher time frames and talk about kind of what I'm expecting here in the medium to longer term. Now, obviously, guys, as you know, if you tuned into the live stream yesterday or the day before, let's see. Shout out to Creighton C. Hey, thank you for the super chat, bro. I appreciate you so much, man. He says, from now on, the first like of the stream has the opportunity to win 1K worth of BTC and a hat. No worries, Frankie. I said opportunity. Rule 1, 1,000 likes. The other 300 rules vary, I assume is what that means. Smash that like button, guys. Creighton C said it, not me. But yeah, we'll see what happens. If we get 1,000 likes, we will give away some Cardano. Or maybe we'll give away BTC. I don't know. But 1K, I don't know. Maybe we'll do that at like 1,500 likes. But yeah, shout out to Creighton C. Thank you for the super chat, bro. I want to know what those other 300 rules are. Yeah, there are. You gotta read the fine print. But yeah, 1K likes, guys. We will give away a decent bag of Cardano here. But thank you, Creighton C. We will add your input from that super chat to the giveaway. So whatever we give, we'll give an extra $10 in that giveaway to somebody. But yeah, that is shout out to Creighton C. But yeah, guys, if you've been watching the live streams, you will know we've been looking at this weekly green dot. On top of the fact that we have been anticipating. We've been anticipating the. We've been anticipating this drop down to 80K. Obviously, this is old news, but, this is kind of where we were looking for some kind of a significant retracement. And we have come up a little bit here, but the question is this retracement going to bring us up a bit higher, where we have our next key level of resistance on the higher time frames, which is going to be that golden pocket / PLC confluence sitting at around $97,000. Are we about to see that bigger pop to the upside? Well, guys, it's really funny because I'm not a big trend line guy, but I have been bringing up trend lines pretty recently, talking about this local trend line that we've been watching. Just trying to hold these higher lows here. So not a big trend line guy, but funny enough, I'm going to bring up another trend line here today. Not that, trend lines are useless or anything like that. I just don't really use them that often. But as we see here, guys, we do have a pretty high time frame trend line here. And, this is basically what has been slamming Bitcoin down for quite some time, right? We get the drop down, bearish retracement, bada boom, bearish retracement, bada boom, bearish retracement. Are we about to get that bigger drop down, or can we potentially break above this level? And if we could break above this, guys, I mean, right now this trend line is coming in at about 87.8. We have liquidity sitting above here, which I will show in just a second. But if we can break out of this trend line, guys, with some gusto, we could potentially see that bigger retracement play out. Now, obviously, our first target to the upside is going to remain that $91,000 value area low, sitting right here in all of its glory. So, if we could crack out of this trend line, I do think the shot up to that $91,000 level is going to be somewhat likely. And this is that next major target to the upside. We've been looking at this forever, right? Like this just remains the same. That is the next major target to the upside. And then once we're able to break above this level, we could potentially look for that bigger retracement into our golden pocket 786. We also have some other key levels in there, such as some daily naked points of controls. We have one, just below that, but we have a daily naked point of control up towards the top of that golden pocket. And I do think we could potentially see that if we could get above that trend line, right? Not a liquidity sweep, right? If we come up here and we just sweep the highs and get rejected back down, that could give us a little bit more pain. However, if we're able to get up above here and push towards that $91,000 level, flip it to support, we might be able to see that larger retracement that I'm talking about play out. And I'm going to turn off these naked points of controls just to clean things up. And just remember, when you're just looking at things in terms of the Fibonacci retracements, that golden pocket is going to be a huge, huge level, $97,000. Have it marked off on the chart, guys. Break above that trend line. I would anticipate a potential continuation, probably going to be pretty turbulent. There's going to be a lot of, oh my God, we're going down. Oh my God, we're going up. It's going to be a lot of turbulence, but we could potentially look to get gravitated towards that golden pocket. And again, the fact that that POC is confluent with that level, it kind of adds an extra magnetic kind of trait, like it adds a little bit more magnetism to that level, if you will. So if I go ahead and pull up that upper range one more time, where is it? Bada boom, right? Get above that $91,000 level. You have not only the POC sucking you up, but you also have that golden pocket, which is going to be that first major retracement level. And I think, in the most optimistic view, I think if we are going to see a big move up, I think these are two big targets to look at. $91,000, and then obviously we have a lot of resistance above that. However, in the long term, we could potentially look to get sucked up towards that POC, treating this as a general volume profile, right? Like just a simple volume profile. This was a big deviation below, and then as you retrace back up, you're going to get gravitated towards the previous area of balance, which is obviously sitting right here. And then $91,000 is that next big level. Flip that, look to come up towards that golden pocket POC. Two major levels to look at, plus the naked points of controls as well. And I just wanted to kind of bring up this trend line because we have been getting hammered down by this consistently for quite some time. So hopefully, and let me actually pull up our anchored VWAPs really quickly. Bada boom. It kind of stinks, right? Our anchored VWAP is not confluent with that level anymore. And you guys can see here, we do have a pretty significant amount of resistance. Not only the daily naked points of controls, but we also have anchored VWAPs up here as well. But we'll touch on those in a little bit. But yeah, for the most part, guys, let's see if we can break that trend line. We can break that. I think we could see the bigger move up to those next bigger targets, 91,000 and 97,000 eventually. But again, I don't think it's going to be like, 91K instant shot to the golden pocket because of all the daily naked points of controls we have. But we'll assess that situation when we get up there. But I do think that looks pretty good. And in my own honest opinion, guys, that weekly green dot, this is something that I'm looking at. If we could get that dang weekly green dot, it would be absolutely beautiful for that continuation up. Obviously, the green dots typically indicate the ebbs and flows in the market, not the overall trend. That is more tied to the money flow. But the green dots, especially like we looked at yesterday when you're below that zero line, sometimes they can give you pretty big moves up. It doesn't guarantee that we're going to see massive new all-time highs, but it could at least give us a significant retracement into those next two key levels. So watching, all eyes on that green dot on the weekly, all eyes on the Fibonacci retracement, and all eyes on the value area low at $91,000. And as you guys know, the $91,000 value area low is also confluent with some other levels locally, which is going to be our previous value area that we've been looking at. This is the range that we looked at yesterday as well. We're kind of just, meandering around inside this range. Once we get above that POC, we can look to get a push up towards that value area high. So not only is that value area low of the macro range going to be acting as a magnet potentially, but within this profile, we would anticipate, hey, we're above the value area low. If we could continue up, flip that POC, that value area high is going to be the next level as well. And once you get above the golden pocket, right, what are we going to be anticipating? We're going to be anticipating the 786. So there's three reasons to be looking up there if you include that value area low of the upper range. So just pretty nice, right? Like other than that, like this volume profile is just like kind of like, yay, we're above the value area low, and then just straight sideways. But we are trading this little mini range, which I will talk about. In just a minute. And again, the previous volume profile that I'm looking at right here and our current volume profile are very, very similar. Like I covered yesterday, if I pull up that current range, right, the value area high is 89,300. And then if you pull up the previous range, the POC is 89,300, 89,400. So very, very similar levels. But if we're able to come up in that current range, flip that value area high, that's where I take this off the chart. I pull up the previous volume profile and I say, hey, now we can look up towards that value area low. And at that point, we are smacking our head on that upper value area low, which would be very, very nice, guys, because if we could crack above that, let me actually just pull up this trend line one more time. I'm going to have to redraw it, right? Bada boom. Let me go ahead and I'll pull it like this, right? I'm just going to rough it out. I'm not going to get it absolutely perfect here. But that would be nice. Flip above that POC, look to come into the value area high, right? That's kind of another reason why, I wouldn't even really take that trend line into consideration in this context. But, once you get above that POC, you're also above the trend line. Then we push into the $91,000 level, and then we could potentially look for that bigger move up. Now, I am not just, senselessly bullish here, guys, just holding my longs forever, just expecting this to be a guarantee, because I am going to talk about a potential for a move to the downside as well. But again, on the higher time frames, I really have to say, the weekly green dot, we also, as we've been looking at, the 10-hour money flow was crossing into the green. We're kind of bing-bonging back out into the red. So we do have some mixed signals here, but really watching that weekly green dot, if we could get that, I do think this pump could continue into those next key levels. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at on the higher time frame. So just from like a simple standpoint, right? If you're just here for like the macro levels, the longer term moves, this is kind of what I would look for, right? If you're not looking at the volume profiles, crack out of this trend line and then see if you can get that continuation up towards about 97K. Obviously, keeping in mind you have that $91,000 value area low flying through there as well, right? Gonna be key resistance until proven otherwise. And remember, guys, we don't know if we're guaranteed to get that full Fibonacci retracement. I do think it is possible, but we also have to watch some of the local Fibonacci retracements as well. Let me just mark out a $91,000 line here real quick. 91K, right about here. So we do have a local golden pocket. Let me try to get that as close as possible, right? All right, $90,989. We do have the golden pocket. I could actually just pull the volume profile as well. But, if we look at this, right, that value area low is confluent with a golden pocket here. So, it's there are some levels, right? This is obviously going to be key resistance until proven otherwise, right? Because we could potentially, if we're not going to go for the full golden pocket POC retracement, right? If we're not going to get that full retracement that I just talked about into this zone, we could potentially reject a local Fibonacci retracement, and that would put this golden pocket value area low in that danger zone of the lower high scenario, right? So we could come in here, lose the value area low, and then put in a lower high over time, and then potentially see the lower low come in. But I don't really want to talk about like the super bearish case right now, because I think it's gonna take some time to play out. So we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But those are the simple levels, guys. Macro value area, we are approaching. We're about to potentially, attempt to break out of this trend line. And those are the next big levels to look at. And even if you're looking at the local fib here, $91,000, where's that 786? Sitting at 94,560, which is starting to get pretty close to that $97,000 POC. So those are the levels that I'm looking at on the higher time frames, as not only that, but as well as the market cipher B signals. And, really would have liked to see this money flow on the 10-hour continue into the green. unfortunately, we are coming back into the red. So that kind of muddies up the chart just a little bit. But that's what, longer term plan remains exactly the same, guys. Key levels on the higher time frames, exactly the same. And chat going nuts here. Oh, baby. Yo, shout out to Golden. Let's go. Shout out to Golden with the 50 Frankie Candles memberships. Let's go. Not even 50 Frankie Candles memberships, 100 Frankie Candles memberships. And now the stream deck works. Shout out to Golden. Let's go, baby. Drop those golden emojis in the chat. Start that golden waterfall. I want to see the chat absolutely melt up with golden emojis here, guys. We call that a golden golden waterfall, guys. We call it a golden waterfall. It has nothing to do with a shower. It's a waterfall. But shout out to Golden, bro. Thank you so much for getting those memberships and drop those golden emojis in. Let's see it fly. Let's get that chat rate up to 200. Let's see it just stream out here, guys. We want that smooth stream of golden emojis. Anyway, shout out to Golden, bro. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate you so much, man. And thank you for the super chat, Golden. He said, I'm late, coming in hot, dropping the BOMBS. I assume the BO. Oh, you must have tricked the YouTube algorithm because you tricked me, bro. Shout out to Golden, dropping BOMBS and doing. I'm not going to say that one out loud. Stupid YouTube trying to censor me. Forgive the wacky spelling. Let's start with a 50. Yo, shout out to Golden, bro. Thank you so much for doing that, man. And let's see. Are those golden emojis flying in the chat? There they are, baby. There they are. Spam them. Break YouTube with those golden emojis. Let's get it. Unbelievable. Yeah, show some thanks to Golden if he just got a membership. Shout out to ADD Dad in the chat as well. Good to see you, bro. Welcome in. Oh, my God. Oh, God. Chat is going nuts right now. Let's see. Yes, you can't say that word. Shout out to Creighton. Generous. Yeah, shout out to Poster. Golden is one of his. Stay golden, Pony Boy. Yeah, Golden is like literally the most generous person we've ever met. Shout out to Golden. Golden is bullish, baby. Golden, pump this thing back up. Golden, pump this dang thing back up. But yeah, guys, that's what I'm looking at on the higher time frames. I'm going to jump down lower here. Like I said, not much has changed, but I'm going to jump down here lower time frame and kind of talk about what we're looking at here as far as kind of the local price action. So let's come on down here to the 1 hour and take a look at our local range here. So obviously, guys, right, we've been kind of bing-bonging around in this sideways, range. And shout out to the premium Discord, guys. We were literally in the premium Discord. I was looking at this range saying like, hey, we are deviating below this volume profile. And we had come down and tapped this anchored VWAP. And we started to put in some like slight bullish divergences on the 15-minute, but I didn't like it, right? I would pull it up in the Discord. I don't think I have it up right now. But yeah, oh yeah, I do. Yeah, but we were looking at this anchor VWAP, and I just didn't really like it, right? I was just kind of saying like, hey, we have the little 15-minute bullish divergences, but we're kind of front-running the golden pocket, and I didn't even really like this golden pocket that much because it's already been tapped. But what we were looking for here, I could actually show it so you guys can kind of see what we do here. But yeah, like we were looking for a potential drop into that golden pocket, potential wick below, which hilariously, I don't mean to be like, I'm fine with the deviation below that golden pocket, but we want to come back up pretty quickly. But literally, Bitcoin did the exact thing we were looking for. Looking to come into that golden pocket with a more clean 15-minute bullish divergence. And this is kind of how we front run those signals, guys. We know we're deviating below the volume profile. And, this is where we want to be starting to look for longs, right? We had the short from the high. That paid out a little bit more, took some profit. And then we were looking for this bullish divergence. We also had some other confirmations here. I won't really talk about those right now because it's not really important. But we came down here, looked for that 15-minute bull div, and for the retracement back into the value area low. And then if we can get back into this range, hold it as support, we might be able to get a rip back up to the value area high, which right now is sitting at about $88,230. So that was kind of the plan. And then we waited, and sure enough, we get the drop into that zone with the 15-minute bull divs, and we get to push up to our value area low. And right now, we are kind of bing-bonging around here. Are we about to lose this range? Can we get back in there, flip it to support, and continue through? And that's what I want to talk about, right? So this local range is sitting between value area low at about 86,971, POC sitting here at 87,127, and then we have the value area high sitting at 88,230, like we just showed in the Discord. But we had some local Fibonacci retracements here, letting everybody know, like, hey, we got a little bit of resistance here. We came up to that golden pocket, and that is kind of what we're projecting right now. So, as we look at this, right, It's okay if we deviate below this profile slightly, right? Maybe we could put in a higher low on some Fibonacci retracements, get back into the range, and then continue up to the high. Is this going to be likely? Well, if we look at the market cipher B, right, we have the 3-hour money flow, 3-hour VWAP on the way to the upside here, looking for a potential green dot. We have the 2-hour here with the green dot printing. And, again, we could see little ebbs and flows to the downside, right? It's okay, right? But we are going to be looking for a potential reclaim of this value area low if we want to get that continuation up towards the value area high. And not only do we have the value area high up here, guys, but we also have, let me see if I can pull it up. We also have some liquidity sitting above those highs as well, right? So we have the liquidity sitting here at about 88, starting at about 88,700. Pull up the chart here. So yeah, 88,700. That is pretty much above these highs, guys, right? We have that liquidity sitting above. And, I kind of want to talk about both areas of liquidity that we have because it's not just the upper liquidity. We also have some lower liquidity getting a little bit closer to that CME gap. And I would argue, at least looking at the 1-week time frame, that this looks like the hotter spot of liquidity. Sometimes the area where you have more liquidity can act as a stronger magnet. However, it really depends on what happens up in here, right? If we do wind up getting back into this range, we will be looking for a continuation through the volume profile into the value area high. And then if we're able to break above here, guys, we might start to get gravitated towards that liquidity to sweep to the upside. And at this point, we could potentially, obviously, look for two things, right? We could look for some potential short setups into that liquidity. Look for the sweep and a potential retracement back down, or this liquidity might be able to, I keep deleting the dang trend line. I might as well just keep it on the chart here. Let me just go ahead and redraw this real quick, right? So we're just looking at this as like a rough trend line. And we come on back down to the lower time frames, right? We might be able to. This might be the thing that's able to get us up inside this profile, right? Push into that liquidity and push us above that trend line. And at that moment, guys, it would be hopeful that we could flip that trend line if you want the bigger move to the upside to target $91,000. We want to get through that liquidity, not see a sweep of the liquidity, right? We do not want to see any SFPs up here. Although if we do, we're going to be shorting those down back to the lower prices. But, we don't know exactly how that liquidity is going to behave. Are we going to get the SFP for a big rejection down, or are we just going to get that liquidity to act as fuel for a bigger move up? And that's kind of where we have to assess things as price cracks into that liquidity, right? Because once you get stopped out, once all this short liquidity that was built up in this range, right? People shorting the high, which was fine, right? This played out. We were part of that team, right? Getting the move to the downside, making a little bit of money on that short. But if we push up here, we don't know if it's going to kind of sweep out the shorts and then give us the bigger move to the downside, or if we are going to just have that act as fuel. Because when you get stopped out of a short position, it creates a market buy. That is literally what a short squeeze is, right? So as those shorts get stopped out, it creates those market buys, which gives us that big push to the upside. And if we don't get the sweep of liquidity, it might be the thing that we need to break that trend line and see the bigger move up. Now, again, it's not a guarantee, right? Like there's two options there, and we have to assess the price action as price comes into those levels. Same thing here, right? Like if we came here into this for the long setup in the premium earlier today, right? If we came into this golden pocket and we were not seeing the bullish divergences, if we were not seeing the bullish CVD that we saw, right, we would not have taken that long position. Now, me personally, I missed this position. I entered aggressively. My position's pretty much at break even. I'm a little negative on fees right now, but I entered aggressively. Pretty low risk position. I'll stop out for a small loss if it gets stopped out. But obviously, setup was from down here. I walk away from the chart and price comes down, puts in the bull divs. But if we didn't get those confirmations, guys, we would not have taken the trade, right? Because if there's no bullish confirmations, low probability of a move back up, you just sit on your hands and you wait for those bigger levels and you just let the short from the high continue to pay us out. So that's kind of what I'm looking at locally. Again, I read off those local volume profile levels. So hopefully we can get back above that POC and start pushing back through this volume profile. However, if we do not, guys, we've already hit TP1. Technically, value area low is TP1, golden pocket. If not, that would have been TP1 for me. But, if this winds up stopping out in profit, not for me personally, again, I like to be transparent. I will get stopped out at a loss here because I did not get in with the Discord. I don't think there's any pain that is worse than like putting a setup in the Discord, waiting, like not even putting the setup in there, but like seeing some bullish confirmations and just being like, nah, I don't like it. I want to specifically wait for this. And then you just walk away and price pushes up and you're like, man, I can't chase it now. So I did enter in on a little bit of a retracement here. So we'll see what happens. But if this does not wind up playing out, guys, and we get the bigger move to the downside, these are just the local levels. This is what we are kind of like taking the little scalp positions at. We have the short from the high, and now we have the long from the low, right? So if this winds up continuing down for whatever reason, I am going to be just looking at our larger current range. Let's go ahead and pull that up real quick. And we do have key levels below us, guys. I will be most interested if we continue down, right? Because in the grander context, that little range is just within here. We're just looking to get some day plays in here, make a little bit of money on the day. And then the bigger moves, right, I would anticipate if we can continue through that local profile, hopefully we can push up towards that value area high, right? Because that would just be what we'd expect here. Get above the value area low, flip it to support, flip the POC to support. After that, the next highest probability area for price to go is going to be that value area high. We're just pretty much trading that noise because obviously it is a journey up to that value area high. So we're just kind of trying to trade that noise and make some money in the meantime. But if we do push up to that value, if we do, whether we push up first and then get the pullback or we pull back from here, the two big levels, guys, that we have to be watching is number one, we have the golden pocket right here at about starting at about $85,250, right? This is pulled from the low here before we wound up cracking the highs. So that is the golden pocket. I do believe we actually have an anchored VWAP here as well. Let me see. Do I have it in the folder? Okay, so anchor VWAP is actually coming in line with our second level here, but these are the next two levels within our larger profile that we're going to be looking at, right? So if we do continue down, golden pocket, where's the daily naked points of controls, right? Because we do have some confluence here, right? Daily naked point of control, we have the golden pocket. So if we do pull down here, I may look to add to my bigger long position here, entered in from the low, right? We're entered in below the volume profile. Same theory that we use for the little scalp long here as well. Deviate below the low, look for a move back into the profile. You get the rest, right? So I may look to add to my long position if we can come down here. This is an area where we could potentially put in a higher low, so I may look to add to my long position. And then if we do continue down from there, our second big area of interest, in my personal opinion, is going to be our 786. Just get rid of that manually here. Is the 786 POC daily confluence, right? So these are the next two levels. Zone number one sitting between 85,280 and 84,809. So if we're going to continue this overall trend to the upside, right, keep putting in higher lows and higher highs, right, we could potentially get a bounce off the golden pocket and potentially that 786. Now, also remember here, guys, down here towards about 83.9, I believe we do have the CME gap. So there is also some extra confluence down there as well. So if the move continues down, I will stop out of the long for I'm so mad that I cannot say I'll get stopped out in profit. But I'll probably get stopped out of that in a small loss if we continue down. But I am still holding the short position here. Up about, I'll just show this, right? Bada boom, bada bing. There you go, right? So here are both trades, right? This is the long position that I entered on the retracement. And, it's pretty much, down $49, $56 in fees. And then we have the long position up, realized $700 in profit, and then we have the 676 unrealized. So if that stops out, right, we'll take a little bit of a loss on the long, and that short will continue to pay us out, and then we'll just keep focusing on these bigger levels of support. Much more confluence down here. Like, I want to be clear, the scalp long setup here is indeed a scalp long, right? Because there wasn't a ton of confluence down here. It was a golden pocket, anchored VWAP, and the anchored VWAP wasn't even really that significant in my own personal opinion. So, it is looked at as a scalp, and, for anyone who got in on the actual setup in the Discord, TP1 has already been hit, stop loss to break even. So most people will get stopped out in profit, except for me. I'll just take a little bit of a loss. Dang it! That's okay, though. But yeah, again, we'll just have that short continue to pay us out into these next big zones. Again, zone number one, 85,280 to 84,800. And then zone number two, 84,383 down to about 83,724. Very simply put. And that's just in the bigger context of our larger profile, right? Bada boom. This remains exactly the same. We pretty much... nothing going on here, just going straight, right? So we'll see what happens. I would love this to add to my long position, boom, send it to the upside, keep those higher lows coming in, and send us up towards that liquidity. But I want you guys to be aware, liquidity also sitting down here closer to that CME gap. Remember, we just looked at that liquidation heat map. This is coming in at about $83,000, right? Did I say 8,300 before? $83,000. So yeah, we do have some liquidity sitting below these lows as well. So if we do come down there, might be able to sweep the liquidity and then come back up. It is going to be a difficult situation though, because at that point, right, you're thinking to yourself like, hey, are we going to get stuck under this POC and go back down to the low? So we'll have to assess that situation once we get down there, but obviously we will have the short from the high here. So that's pretty much how I'm playing it right now, guys. We're in the short, still in the long from down here. and now just in that super, super high risk, super, I would say, for me personally, low probability. Super high probability from the actual entry in the Discord, from where I took my entry. Not the best entry personally, but obviously, not risking money that I'm not willing to lose. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anything here. Shout out to K Diggity said, I like Frankie Candles and I cannot lie. These crypto brothers can't deny. Then when Phoebe walks in with an itty bitty waist and a round thing in your face, you get. Shout out to K Diggity. Phoebe says hi, bro. Phoebe says hi. But yeah, guys, that's what I'm looking at here for the most part. And I sometimes I wonder, right? Sometimes I wonder if, we're given the sauce here. I try to give as much detail as I possibly can. I hope I'm not losing anybody in the mess of all these key levels. But this is really what I'm looking at, right? VWAP rolling up here on the 4 hour. Not really something to write home about. But we still got money flow in the green here, right? So the anticipation would be hopefully to continue this overall trend to the upside, even if we have to take another dip to the downside. But we're capitalizing on all these moves. We come down, we make money. We come up, we make money. And right now I'm just holding the 2 longs and that short. Right. Let me actually see this. Okay, so I got like 50K left in the short. Bada boom, bada bing, and then long still sitting there. I got a bunch of profit locked in on the other long. But yeah, let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. But yeah, and then honorable mention here, guys. I don't want to. I hate to really cover like too much of the bearish stuff, especially if there's nothing like super alarming on the charts here. But just remember, guys, like we are technically rejecting a local golden pocket, right? Slash 786 retracement, right? So like if we are going to just put the lower high in here, right? We are kind of tapping onto that like larger trend line that we have here. If we are going to get the bigger move down, obviously we have the local profile here, which hopefully we can hold the higher lows on. But if we do just get like a massive drop to the downside, you guys know where those next key levels are sitting. I hate to cover them again, but they are going to be sitting not down here. Obviously, $72,000 to $70,000 are the big levels, but more locally, we do have the daily and weekly naked points of controls sitting down here as well, right? Between about 76 for 70 and about 75,000, right? So if we are just going to put in a lower high, the anticipation for that would be to break structure to the downside, where your next key level is sitting here, getting as low as about 75K. Once we lose that, that's kind of where I'm looking down towards 72 to potentially $68,000. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But just like an honorable mention, I want you guys to be aware of that. But yeah, we'll see what happens, guys. Like, I don't really hate that weekly green dot. Hopefully we can get it to print. We still have plenty of time for this to invalidate, right? Even if we start printing it tomorrow, say. I still have 4 days and 2 hours for that to actually confirm. So we'll see what happens. All eyes on the weekly. And money flow coming out on the 5 hour. Money flow kind of flat on the 4 hour, but still in the green. 3 hour money flow starting to come out. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Kind of bing bongy, guys. But we are making that money on those little scalp trades. We do not need to wait for that big move to make some money, right? We made a few $1,000s on the long position from the low. Made 700 locked in, up over 1,000 on the short, and yeah, we'll see. Maybe we'll just stop out of that long, and if that winds up playing out, we're just finding money on the chart every single day, guys. It's like going in your couch cushions and digging out the loose change. Except the loose change is a couple $1,000s. Let's see. Bear market is good. Shout out to Jay Bella. I mean, hey, shout out to Crypto Pesa says, Frankie, are you saying it's going up? I mean, if that weekly green dot prints, I do think we could see the retracement continue. Again, just up into these key levels. Until then, right, like is it going to go up or down right now? I would say pretty choppy, right? Probably going to see some turbulence here. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah, 1 hour VWAP rolling back over. Good Lord. Let me actually bring up that scalp range again. Yeah, okay, we'll see. A little 3 minute bull dip. 3 minute bull dip. Send it to $1 million, guys. It's going to the moon. But yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Let me see if we are pull from the high to the low. We already got that 786 test. Let's see, next fib, technically from this high or low. Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully we don't have to go all the way down for that full golden pocket retracement. That is confluent with an anchored VWAP, though. Might want to go retest that. But yeah, just playing the local ranges at this point, guys, right? Like, if we get back into that range, there's a few different ways that you could trade the volume profile, right? Like me personally, like I said, in the premium Discord, like we like to wait for price to deviate below the low, right? Here's your value area low. Once you're deviating below, that's where you're looking for longs. Like I want to be very clear. The long entry that I have is like closer to up here, right? We came up, we retraced down. I took a little entry on the retracement in case we aggressively continue to the upside. But really, like, the real entries are down here, right? You want to wait till you're coming down, get the bullish confirmations, and then take your entry as price is coming down, right? Doesn't mean you can't take aggressive entries, but you just have to understand that when you take an aggressive entry, it's not as high probability and it's a lot higher risk. Or I don't want to say high risk. It's just lower probability, right? Because you're kind of just entering in after price has already moved up. But if you get it on that little sniper entry on the low, which is typically what we look for in the premium Discord, you know, you're not in right here on a dip, right? Like you're not, and then it's like, all right, now I'm back to break even, right? Your entry is just going to be so much better all the way down here, right? That was where we had the entry, and then I just missed it. I can't believe, guys. And let me be clear. I feel the emotion, right? I feel like, oh, come on, man. I don't want to chase it. I don't want to chase it. I don't want to chase it, right? And that's why we wait for the retracements. And sometimes that doesn't even work out, right? So yeah, just, you know, very important. Like, take the trades when you have the setup. Chasing is usually a pretty low probability situation. But yeah, that's what we're looking at, guys. Local range, medium time frame, current range, and then that long time frame analysis that we just went over with the massive trend line and the higher time frame golden pocket at 97K. We'll see what happens, right? We're kind of just day playing this stuff recently. It's been very, very choppy price action, but overall, you know, we'll see. But as long as we stay above that POC, we could continue up here with the higher lows and then hopefully send this thing to all-time highs. But as you guys know, you know, we are going to be careful around that golden pocket for a massive lower high. Could this be in the cards, right? Come up, massive golden pocket retracement on the higher time frames before a massive another move down. Definitely in the cards, but it doesn't mean we can't make money on these long positions. Even if I got stopped out here, still holding the long from lower. Doesn't mean we can't continue to make money on those retracements. We just have to identify that that is potentially going to be a lackluster retracement before another down move to the downside. If we come up here, money flow comes up, we could look for a flip into the 786 and then potentially beyond. But we have to be careful, right? You know, it's going to start to feel very bullish if we start getting the push up into this range, guys. Like, this is going to feel real good if we wind up seeing that happen. But it does not necessarily alone mean bull market. We have to be careful around that level. If we see the money flow coming up, we can assess the situation when we get there, right? But we're not going to know until we get up there, if we get up there. So we'll see. Are we going to take the lower liquidity first, add to the long position, then come up? Or are we going to shoot up here, take the liquidity, and then go back down? We'll see what happens. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at here on Bitcoin, guys, for the most part. Just day playing that thing, grabbing our bag, and jumping out. Let's see. Yeah, shout out to Gen Z says, Frankie, the value area high of the current range is tapped on the Femex perp chart. Yeah, so we actually looked at that. I forgot who brought it up. Somebody brought that up in chat that this current value area high that we're looking at has been hit, right? On some other time frames, on some other on some other charts, right? It hit it on the Binance spot chart, right? So, you know, we did look at that, right? And I kind of gave my 2 cents on that. It's like I would worry about, not worry about that, but I would take it into more into consideration if I was not in a short from the high, right? The fact that I'm already short here, because like the only reason I would be worried about like, oh my God, maybe we did hit the value area high and we're not going to hit it here, is if I was looking for a short. But I am already holding a short from the top, right? And it is in profit. So if we do continue down, and let's say that the value area high getting hit on those other exchanges is the high getting hit, and we're just going to front run it on Bybit. Number one, I would say it's a rare situation, right? The reason I look at the Bybit chart, guys, the way people always ask me, Frankie, why do you look at the Bybit chart, right? And the answer to that question is that I used to look at other charts, right? A lot of times I would look at the chart of the exchange that I was trading on, which is, there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's a good idea as well. But oftentimes, some of the levels that I would look at on other exchanges would consistently get front run. And for me, right, it just turned out that the Bybit chart had the more accurate levels. It was much less often front ran on those key levels. It's just more accurate in my opinion, but it doesn't mean it will never get front ran. But I will say it doesn't happen very often, which is why I don't really check other exchanges that often. It's just because I kind of fixed that problem, right? I would be trading on other charts and I'd be like, let me check the Bybit chart. Of course, it hit on the Bybit chart. All right, let me continue on my regular chart. Man, I got front run again. Let me check the Bybit chart. Oh, it got tapped on the Bybit chart. So eventually I just switched to the Bybit chart, even though I don't trade on Bybit. So, you know, I would say, you know, is it impossible to front run this level? Absolutely not. It is uncommon though. But again, the only reason I would really care about that is if I was like waiting for this for a short, but I'm already holding the short from the high. So it's totally fine. You know, because if our value area high was here, we'd be looking for shorts at that value area high, and I would have entered there anyway. But what did we enter the short on based off of this was simply a golden pocket retracement, right? Bada boom. Whoops. Bada boom, we came up to the golden pocket. We know that's an area where we can get a rejection from. That's where we look for the short. We retraced, and we continue down. So yeah, but shout out to Gen Z. I believe you, bro, because we looked at it on the Binance chart the other day, and it was indeed tapped. So yeah, there you go. Let's see. They play that thing, man. Shout out to Trey. Shout out to Trey Flip. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Good to see you in here again. Stay above 200 on the 4 hour. Got it. Shout out to Say It With Me, Suey. Shout out to Suey. Shout out to Kalia, said, do you use the session volume profiles for the naked POCs, or do you use periodic volume profiles? Shout out to Kalia. You could pretty much use either one. For me personally, right, if I'm looking for my MPOCs on TradingView, I believe I have the PVP is the one that I'm using here. So if we come on over to the daily, right, that is where the naked points of controls come from on TradingView. But me personally, like where I get my personal MPOCs from is ExoCharts, right? So I get my MPOCs from ExoCharts, which is very, very similar. I just like ExoCharts better because it pulls live data from the exchanges. So I do find that they're slightly more accurate, but I wouldn't ignore these, right? If you don't have access to something like ExoCharts, you could easily look for these MPOCs. We talk about this in the premium all the time. This is free, right? You use a periodic volume profile. And I have a video on the channel showing you exactly how to find MPOCs using TradingView. But they're definitely valid levels. And yeah, me personally, I use the PVP. This just pulls a volume profile over a specific period, right? So when you're on the daily chart, every one bar is going to be a profile, right? So that means that every daily candle has its own profile and a POC, right? So if you're looking for the daily naked POC, you would have one bar, right? If we come up to the weekly chart, right, this would give you every weekly profile. And you can even see it here almost if you zoom in enough, right? Like this weekly candle has its own profile. There's the POC. And then when it's a naked POC, right, it was naked until it got tapped here, right? If I actually go back into bar replay mode, actually the MPOCs won't load. Shout out to TradingView. I don't know why that happens. It used to work. But you can see like when that POC is untapped, it is sitting up there and extended. And then once you hit it, it will disappear, right? It will unextend. So yeah, I use the periodic volume profile. But yeah, I mean, you could technically just pull, go to a lower time frame, mark out the exact week, pull a fixed range volume profile, extend the POC with a horizontal ray, and then you'll get the same thing, right? I'm not going to do that right now because it's just going to take a bunch of time. Yo, shout out to Golden showing the love tonight. Let's go. Shout out to Golden, baby. Let's get it. Everybody gets a dang Frankie Candles membership. Look at all the green names in the chat. Start that golden waterfall in the chat right now. Drop that golden emoji if you just got a membership. Shout out to Golden showing some extra love tonight. I appreciate you, Golden. I appreciate you, bro. And I know the Mafia does as well. Drop those golden emojis. I'm going to spam some dang golden emojis. I'm doing it, guys. I'm doing it. Tony D, please don't ban Frankie Candles from the chat. I'll start the golden waterfall. Here we go. Here we go. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Oh, no. I accidentally did calf emojis. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Now I'm going to have to show the calf. Dang it. Where'd the gold? There we go. Spam it. Oh, man. It's not working. There we go. Let's go. Look at all the green names. This is insane. Let's get it. The GOAT. The Golden. Shout out to Golden. The Golden GOAT. Shout out to you, bro. I appreciate you so much, man. Let's see. Shout out to NWO said, hey, Frankie, Bitcoin's moving when you're not looking. Quantum physics. Yo, shout out to NWO. You must be the scientist in the chat. I appreciate you, bro. He says, hey, Frankie, Bitcoin moving now when you're not looking is quantum physics. Observation affects the photons, light particles, to act different when you are not looking, poses strong energy, man. Hey, shout out to NWO. Are you saying we have the energy to control Bitcoin? Is that possible? Shout out to NWO. I believe you're referencing the, what is it called? The double slit experiment. Is that kind of what we're talking about? Shout out to NWO. I'm not a scientist, but I do dabble in wearing glasses and using inhalers sometimes. So there we go. Let's see. Shout out to Creighton C. Said, smash that like button. Thank you for the super chat, bro. Said, smash that like now and have a chance to win an authentic NYC-style pizza. By that, I mean the half a bag of pizza rolls in my freezer. Shout out to Creighton C. Doing his own giveaways in the chat. Let's go, baby. Let's go. FaZe says, go get a coffee, Frankie, so Biddy can pump. It probably would work. It probably would work. Shout out to Gordon, said, why is my name not green, though? Shout out to Gordon. You got to make sure you have gifting enabled in your YouTube settings, or you won't be able to get the gifts. Let's see. Bada boom. So, yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at, we'll take a look at ETH. Oh, shout out to Relatable Clips. Said, could you potentially take a look at ETH? Yes, we're going to take a look at ETH right now, guys. So let's go ahead and jump right into that. Let me come on over here. I think this is our chart. Nope. Where's it at? There it is. All right, so let's take a look at Ethereum. Obviously, on Ethereum, guys, we have been looking at this these two volume profiles, right? Like, I'm just going to look at the local level here. I think we all know kind of the macro context here on Ethereum, right? Look at the macro value area. Very similar to Bitcoin. Obviously, we are not tapping the value area low just yet on Bitcoin, but, Ethereum had dropped out of its volume profile, right? Our larger volume profile here. And then we wound up coming back up, and we have tapped that value area low, which was our second target here. We had the Fibonacci retracements, which we got a retracement from, and then we had the value area low as the second target, and we are starting to see some turbulence. Remember, the value area lows, previous value area lows, are always going to be resistance until proven otherwise, right? If we could break above this key level, value area low sitting at $2,100, flip it to support, that's where I'd look for the bigger move up towards that POC. Pretty simple. Like simply put, I don't want to kind of overcomplicate it. Like, those are the key levels. If we break this level, it is the doorway to higher prices. And the next major target would be sitting here on the POC. And this POC is also confluent with a local golden pocket 786 retracement. Boom. Boom. Right? Get above there, flip it to support, push into the golden pocket 786. You'd already be anticipating a 786 retracement, and that POC is going to be the next magnet within the profile. Deviate below the low. This is where you're potentially looking for long positions, and then if you continue up, you look to flip the low, get accepted into the range. Next likely place for price to go is going to be the POC. Once you start cracking that 786, you may be able to get your bigger move up towards about $2,600. We looked at that level yesterday. It is the value area low of this previous profile. $2,600. And 60 cents, right? Like, literally $2,600, almost exactly. So that plan remains exactly the same. I mean, Ethereum kind of just bing-bonging around here other than that, right? Like, no real update here on Ethereum, in my own personal opinion. Now, here's the thing, right? Even on Bitcoin, guys, the reason I have not closed my short in full, kind of wish I was holding a short on Bitcoin as well. I mean, Ethereum as well. But part of the reason why I did not close my full short position here, as we were getting the bounce for the scalp long position, remember, context is going to be king. Obviously, we had the long setup here in the premium earlier today. But, taking profits on the short position, but not closing it in full. And why is that, right? Well, we do have our daily red dot. We have to watch this, right? VWAP coming down on the daily. If we get this daily red dot, that could potentially give us the continuation down to these bigger key levels of support within the larger range, right? 90-minute money flow, I wouldn't say is like super. It's kind of flat. It's not super coming out here. If it was, it would probably indicate more of a, aggressive move to the downside. But just keep in mind, because I don't know if I brought this. I don't think I talked about this. Red dot coming in on the daily potentially. It's not super close, but we'll see what happens. We have another hour and 20 minutes before we get that next daily candle, and which that VWAP probably will continue down. So we do get that red dot. Again, that's kind of why, taking a late long entry there is probably not the best idea for me. I'm not perfect. But again, managing the risk is really what's important there, right? It's okay to take a shot and lose a trade if you're taking a small loss, especially when you have a long that's already massively in profit and a short that's massively in profit as well. But daily red dot prints, that could give us the bigger move down to these two key levels. And I will make a market update. If we get that to happen, I'll make a market update and kind of update you guys on what I'm doing down here. Because if we do get that bigger move down, probably going to be and assess the situation as price action develops situation, right? Come on down here. If we get some bullish CVD, something like that, we could potentially look to add to my bigger long positions and maybe even take some new positions. But just keep that in mind. Daily red dot printing. If that prints, we probably will continue down here. I'll stop out of the long, and that short will continue to cash us out. Let's see. Shout out to Golden. Thank you for the super chat. Said, what he's saying is when you're not looking at the charts, the price will start moving the way you want it to. Yes, shout out to Golden. If you guys saw the YouTube shorts that I made a couple YouTube shorts. Was trying out like a new format where I just like recorded my live trading. And it's hilarious. It's like literally I take the position. I talk about the TA. I'm like, I'm taking a short here based off these things. I'm looking for this to be the target. And then I literally get up and go to get a cup of coffee. And as I'm getting coffee, price just nukes down to that key level. It's hilarious. Like, if you have not seen that, go to our shorts and watch those last, like, 2 or 3 shorts that I dropped. Like, you can't make it up. It needs to be studied, guys. It needs to be studied. Shout out to Golden, though. Thank you so much for the super chat. Golden showing the love tonight, bro. I appreciate you so much, man. And shout out to Francis. Just dropped a sticker. Hopefully that wasn't supposed to be a super chat. But thank you so much for that, bro. I appreciate you so much. Shout out to Felipe. Say, clicked for Frankie Candles, stayed for Frankie Candles. Shout out to Felipe. Let's get it. Let's get it. If we get a 1-day, 90-minute red, so what Darren's referring to here is if we get the daily red dot and that 90-minute money flow crosses over into the red, hold me, right? That could be, if we get that. And again, I wouldn't say that it's like setting up perfectly here. It's not impossible to happen, right? I would say money flow is kind of flat here. But let's see the 80-minute starting to come out here. If we see that 80 and 90-minute money flow come to the downside with that daily red dot, guys, obviously we have these key levels down here. But with that setup, that 90-minute money flow crosses into the red, we could potentially look for that continuation of the downtrend towards our value area low. And if that breaks down, that's where we could potentially come take those lows here at about 76,500. But we got plenty of time to keep you guys updated on that. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, but more importantly, if you're not going to smash a like, make sure you're subscribed and turn on notifications so you at least get the sauce as it's developing. Let's see. Shout out to Justice Pomps. Thank you for the super chat. Said, love you, Frankie. XRP, please. Yeah, we're going to take a look at XRP. We'll take a look at Solana, XRP, and then you guys can shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. You guys can drop your favorite altcoins in the chats right now, and he'll count up the votes and let us know what we're going to be looking at. Let's do 3 requests, Rob, and then I'll take a look at Solana and XRP right now. Shout out to France. Said my first time. Sorry, no problem. Hey, Francis, if you don't have to super chat again if you wanted to say something. Shout out to Tony D. If you're in the chat, bro. Francis, just tell me what you wanted to say, and we'll try to get the mods to take note of it so we don't miss it. I don't want you to spend any extra money if that was a mistake. But thank you for the super chat, bro. I appreciate you so much. Shout out to Mike. Said, why would somebody not smash the like button? Are they crazy? Shout out to Mike. I mean, we're just giving the free value. Somebody said yesterday in the live stream, like, man, this guy's spitting sauce. A lot of people charge for this, and it is true. It is true. I like to give a lot of it away for free, though. Let's see. Okay, so continuing on here on Ethereum, let's come on back over to our Ethereum chart. So, very similar to Ethereum, right? We got to get above $2,100 is still your biggest key level of support, or resistance, I'm sorry, right? So not only is it the value area low, it's also your doorway to higher prices, and it is also, dang it, I wish I could change that separately, but I can't. It is also key, right? Because once we get above that, it could open the door for the bigger move up. However, until then, right, like, I think it's a 786 of this lower pull. Yeah, it is still key resistance though, right? So like, hopefully we're not just going to put in the lower high and then put in another lower low. But yeah, I mean, to the upside, that is definitely the key level you need to break. And the next target's to the upside that I went over just before. And if we pull up our mini range as well, just to give a little bit more context here, value area low of this local range is very similar to the $2,100 value area low on the macro range. But, once we get up in here, you can kind of use this as a local guide on where price will get turbulence from. Because remember, the POC of the range is sitting at $2,300. However, there is local resistance, right? Being the POC of this range at $2,213. And then you have the golden pocket sitting between about, $2,247 and $2,276, right? So, definitely going to be looking at that as like a local context. But then once you break above that, obviously the POC and 786 will be next. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at on Ethereum. If we continue down here, I will say here, let me go ahead and move this fib. Let me actually see something here. To the low. Nah, I don't like that. Yeah, I mean, your key support here, obviously the value area high of your lower range. Hopefully, right, if we get the daily red dot to print here on Ethereum and we get our 90-minute money flow crossover, you might be able to see, you already have 90-minute money flow in the red, you might be able to see a potential breakdown back into this range. But if we do break down, guys, this is going to be the zone to look at, right? Value area high is going to be key support. Where would I pull this fib from? Low. I'd probably pull it from here, to be honest. It would either be this one, right? So we don't start bouncing from where we're at right now. I would probably be looking. You do have some confluence here. I would just be looking at the value area high alone is going to be key support, but you do have this Fibonacci retracement. So your hope here, if you're not, like very similar to Bitcoin continuing the higher lows, right? Like you don't want to lose the higher lows on the key levels below on Bitcoin. Same thing with Ethereum, right? You kind of want to hold that value area high as support if you want to break into this range and continue up. If you start breaking back down below this value area high 786, POC is your next key level of support at 1851. Once we get below here, that is where we're looking for a much bigger drop down, in my own personal opinion, down to about 1644 and about 1571. There might be local levels in between, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But right now, I'd be watching this level right here between about 1961 and 1921 for some support, and a key level of, a key level that, if lost, could call for the bigger drop down to the POC. Simply put. But right now, personally, I don't really see a nice setup on Ethereum at the moment. Shout out to Crypto Nate A says, not to be confused with Crypto Nate B, says, shout out to you, Frankie. You helped get us through the bear market. You are the GOAT. Yo, shout out to Crypto Nate A. I appreciate you so much, man. And I'm happy to be here. That the bear market, hey, we made a lot of money in the bear market, shorting that thing down to zero. But yeah, a lot of people are scared of the bear market, guys. And that's why I always say, if you think the bear market is here, there is no better time to learn how to trade than right now. The bear markets are just another bull market for us, right? Like, doesn't matter if the candles are going up, down, or sideways. We can make that money no matter what, if you know what you're looking for on the charts. Yo, shout out to Chucks. Said, trust I'm withdrawing from copium. Shout out to Chucks. But Uncle Jesse, thank you for the super chat, bro. Said, this is my last super chat to get that 1K likes, but I'm hashtag givers gain, hashtag Billy Goat Tails, hashtag for the win, all for the CandleMafia. Shout out to Uncle Jesse. Thank you so much for that, bro. I appreciate you. And smash that like button, guys, if you have not already. 1,000 likes on tonight's stream will get us, I don't know if we're going to do it with the sideways price action, but if we get 1,000 likes, we'll give away a nice bag of ADA to one lucky CandleMafia member on Friday's giveaways. Yo, shout out to Golden. Thank you for the super chat. Said, let's try to break the YouTube algorithm and do a like spike. Hashtag like spike. Smash that like button. Smash that like thumb in 3, 2, what are we at right now? We're at 439. Oh, God, we're cooking all right. We're all right. On the count of 3, guys. On 3. Smash that like button. We're going from 439 to 550 in the next 30 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Smash that like button right now. We're at 439. Let's see if we can run it up to at least 500. Let's go for 550. I think we could do it. If you appreciate this free content that we give, the free education, and the free key levels and TA that we give every single weekday here, smash that like button. And let's see if we can do it. Shout out to Chuck. Said, Frankie, do you see an all-time high for Ethereum? I think, personally, for me, if this is not the top of the bull run, right? Like, if we are still going to see Bitcoin going to new all-time highs, I do think Ethereum will see a new all-time high. This does not mean, obviously, I don't think you think this, Chuck. But thank you, Rob, for the alt list. I appreciate you, bro. We're going to go ahead and pin that to the top of the chat. But I do think, as long as the bull run is not over, right, and Bitcoin makes new all-time highs, which I think is possible, I think Ethereum makes an all-time high, right? I don't think we're going to see Bitcoin go into new all-time highs and a legitimate alt season come in where Ethereum doesn't make a new all-time high. I know people say it's old, people say it's slow, it's expensive, there's better technology out there, which is facts, right? Like, I can't argue with that, right? Like, but I just don't think it's, I don't know. If we see new all-time highs on Bitcoin and Ethereum just sits there and doesn't make a new all-time high, I got scammed. Right? I'll take that. I'll take that on the chin, right? It's like, all right, you scammed me. You got me. Fine. But yeah, no, I do think as long as we don't see something like this on Bitcoin, right? As long as we're not going to see the super bearish scenario play out where you come into the golden pocket, put in the macro lower high, and continue to the downside, as long as we don't see something like that, and if I really want to get into the nitty-gritty, to be honest, guys, something like this is still possible, right? So, you know, it really depends. It really depends. We'll have to see how things play out. It's really, really hard to call. But, you know, a lot of people thought this was the bear market. A lot of people got really bearish here, right? And, you know, that's why we look for the bounces here. And it's not that I just hear what everybody is saying and I just say the opposite. It just so happens, right? Like, when we start to look for bounces, obviously, it's based off key levels, right? We knew if we came into this golden pocket 786, that was going to be the area where we would have a high probability for, if not a higher low, for a break of structure to the upside on the higher time frames. High, low, higher high, higher low, higher high, right? That is what you would anticipate. When you look for something like this, just naturally, if people don't understand what they're looking at on the chart, they see this big drop down and they just think it's bearish because we dumped, right? Yo, shout out to Golden, bro. Unbelievable, this guy. Shout out to Golden. Let's go. Dropping the 50 Frankie Candles memberships. Again, bro, what is that? Is that 200 memberships today? Is it 250? Yo, unbelievable. Shout out to Golden, bro. Drop those golden emojis. If you do not have one, guys, break the chat right now with golden emojis and show Golden some love. These guys, these memberships are not cheap. I don't remember exactly what it is, but Golden's blowing money on the Mafia right now. Shout out to Golden, bro. I appreciate you so much, dude. And I know the Mafia does as well. Unbelievable. Golden is snapping, bro. Yeah, Golden is an absolute menace. Here we go again. Shout out to C7. Yeah, unbelievable. Let's go. Yo. And I still missed the membership. Shout out to Coin Hoover. Make sure your settings are correct in YouTube. You have to accept gifts. Make sure that setting is I don't know what the setting looks like, but apparently if you go to YouTube settings, you have to enable gifting. Otherwise, you won't be able to get it. Golden, yo, shout out to Hollywood said Golden is Satoshi. He's definitely got money to blow. That's for sure. Shout out to Golden, bro. We appreciate you so much, bro. There we go. Drop those golden emojis, guys. Let's see if start that stream. That's that solid stream of Golden. It's not liquid, guys. It's an emoji. It's just, it's not weird. Hashtag not a cult. Yo, let's go. Smash that like button for Golden. He's dropping a ton of money. Yo, shout out to Tony D said, geez, who decided to give Golden his YouTube rights back? He can't be trusted. Shout out to Golden. Yeah, he's broken out. He's broken out and dropped a bag on the Mafia. Absolutely insane. Golden, you're the GOAT, bro. I appreciate you so much, dude. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Here come the golden emojis. Smash that like button, guys. What do we got? 538. We almost did it. Yo, Golden, the like spike worked. The like spike worked. Shout out to Warren G. Said 50 memberships is $250, guys. Yo, Golden is blowing bags right now. And I'm not going to lie, he's probably doing it from a private jet. I swear, Golden, if you chat right now and say you're on a private jet, I'll pass out. That's going to be hilarious. Unbelievable. Much love, Golden. Golden long 200x on Frankie. Let's go. Shout out to Eugene. I appreciate you, bro. Let's see. World War said Golden with Golden Wildin. Somebody was shortened the top. Let's go, baby. Let's go. But yeah, I'm in shorts at my messy desk. Are you in shorts physically and chart-wise, or are you just talking about your pants? I'm also in shorts at my messy desk. Should we do a giveaway here? Should we do if we have 500? If we're at 550 likes right now, I'll do a guess what's on my desk giveaway. 543. All right, I'll give 30 seconds to get 550 likes, and I'll do a guess what's on my desk giveaway for $100 in I don't know, Cardano. Yeah, let's see. 550 in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Come on. I want to give away some money. 2, 1. I'll let it update. It might be waiting to update. 557. There we go. All right. Let me pick a random object. I'm not going to lie, guys. It's hilarious. I usually clean my desk once a week on a Friday, but I'm not going to lie. For some reason, this has become desk decor. We use this to have people guess what was on my desk to give away $100, and it just never left my desk. So I'm just going to keep it here. We're going to keep this as long as possible, guys, until it's disintegrated. But anyway, let's see. What do I have on my desk here? I don't really have anything too exciting. Man. All right, I got something on my desk here. It's small, it's circular, and it's plastic. And hang on one second. Don't guess yet. You cannot win if you guess yet because we won't be able to see. Yo, it's so funny, bro. Yo, everyone just instant. Okay, Tony, I texted you what it was. Yeah, let me know if anybody let me know if anybody gets it. It's small, it's circular. Yo, shout out to Index said rubber. Sock. Are socks? I guess socks are tubular. Tubular, dude. Let's see. It's got to be specific too. It's got to be specific. For example, if I had a cookie on my desk, it's not a cookie. If I had a cookie on my desk, you would have to say chocolate chip cookie. It's got to be specific. Shout out to Tony. Hopefully he's in the chat. I think he is. He's just super chatted. A sticker. That's a good guess. All right. Tony D probably hates these giveaways. They're probably it's got to be a, okay, Tony, I see somebody that guessed it. But look through to make sure they're the first person that got it. All right, well, while we're waiting for Tony to figure out who won that giveaway, guys, somebody already got it, so you can stop guessing. Somebody already got it. We just got to figure out, FaZe got it. Shout out to FaZe. There we go. Was it specific? Let's go. Yo, shout out to Golden said, a ring for Mrs. Candles. Shout out to Golden. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Not on the desk. But there we go. Shout out to FaZe. I guess you were the first person. So shout out to FaZe. You get $100 in Cardano. We won't send it to you today. We won't send it to you today. It'll be on Friday. But it'll be given away with all the other giveaways that we're going to do on Friday. But it's okay if you didn't win this one, guys. We have plenty of more giveaways to do on Friday. But shout out to regular guy Trade said, why the low voice? Oh, well, we don't want to. Sometimes Mrs. Candles puts her ear to the door and listens to what I talk about. But anyway, but let's continue on. But yeah, Tony just confirmed that he was the first person. I'm sure he is. Tony never needs to be like, hey, double check that, Tony. He's like, I already quadruple checked it. But anyway, let's continue on. We took a look at Ethereum. We took a look at Bitcoin. Let's go ahead and jump on into XRP and see what we got going on here. XRP probably going to zero, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just kidding. It's a joke. But we do have the 2-day VWAP rolling over. I mean, here's the thing, guys. This money flow on the 2-day, similar to Bitcoin. We cannot forget. 2-day money flow technically coming up a bit here on the bear with me here, guys. There we go. I needed the bigger text here so you guys could actually see what we're doing. 2-day money flow, VWAP rolling over. 2-day money flow trying to come up here, guys. But we remember, until we see this money flow come up into the green in a big way, not a fake out into the green, not like a little, we need a big move into the green to anticipate a fake out on that money flow for a big move up. Until that happens, lower highs, whether we come up more or not, lower highs and lower lows would be the anticipation of this trend, right? We still have some time here for this VWAP to develop, but when we take a look at XRP, it is looking a little worse, right? Like 2-day VWAP is coming down pretty aggressively here. If we zoom in on this, you guys can see it a little better, right? VWAP came down, support. Looking to print that 2-day red dot. And if we are, if we're looking at that overall, 2-day money flow, red dot printing, like this is not really what you want to see for a big continuation to the upside, right? For new all-time highs. Now, could you fake out the money flow, come into the red, back into the green, and then you come into a bigger green wave? Yes, this has happened before. It very likely will happen again, right, over time. Like even here, right, money flow is coming out. We did continue to the downside, and then we got a bigger move up. It wasn't really a continuation, but, you could get a fake out into the red and then another big move up, right? This money flow coming out here was not necessarily indicating a massive drop down forever. You faked out, came back into the green, massive move up. So, that could be the case, right? You could get the fake out. However, when we're just looking at this, that 2-day money flow would technically, from a binary perspective, call for the continuation to the downside. Right? For lower highs and lower lows. High, low, lower high, lower low, right? We don't want that to happen. We don't not want that to happen, but I can't unsee it. Money flow coming out, red dot looking to print. Daily, red dot is printing currently with a 90-minute money flow coming to the downside here, right? So for XRP, I'll be honest, right? Let me actually pull up the public chart here. Take a look at our actual levels. Bada boom. Bada bing. Let me see the weekly here. Yeah, weekly VWAP doesn't look as clean as it does on Bitcoin. Money flow is coming up. VWAP's coming up towards that zero line. Might be looking for a green dot, but not necessarily the best sign in my opinion. You still have some work to do there on that VWAP. So I would just be looking within this range, right? Like until we, lose this range, we could just be looking for this to get respected, right? And in this case, what is happening here? Deviation below the low with bullish divergence is very similar to the local scalp setup that we looked at on Bitcoin for the move back up. Next likely place to go is the POC. Flip the POC. Look to go to the value area high. We're rejecting the high. Bouncing off the POC, we are now losing this point of control. So if that daily red dot and 90-minute money flow crossover continues, the next key level on XRP is going to be the $2.14 value area low. We'll see what that daily, I mean, this is probably going to confirm in about an hour, right? This confirms, and that 80 and 90-minute money flow crosses into the red, right? 80-minute money flow is already crossing into the red as we're losing the POC. So I would just be looking within this profile. 214 value area high, POC at 240, value area high at 260. Right? Get stuck under the POC. Money flow crosses into the red on the 90-minute with the daily red dot. We could see that continuation down. But either way, like, this is not a place where I would look to trade XRP. I'm looking for shorts at the highs, longs at the lows. What happens when you look at that? Big move up, significant move down, right? You're at least not looking for, this. You don't have to trade the chop if you don't want, right? Like this little move here, little 3% move. At least on an altcoin, you get a little, 3% is pretty nice. But, when you short from the value area high, right, if you go back down to the low, it's a 17% move, right? From the value area low to the high, 20% move, right? So it's just like the higher probability setups are going to be at the low and at the high. If we pull our golden pocket, you do have nice confluence here as well, right? So it doesn't guarantee that it'll be the bounce of the century, but, you do have confluence on that golden pocket, right? So continue on down, look for that golden pocket, and then a potential long setup back up to the high. But yeah, that's what I'd be looking at. Watch that daily red dot and that 90-minute money flow crossover for the continuation down. Those are the key levels I'd be watching. So there you go. Just within our range. All right, let's see. Shout out to Tony D says E-Generate was first. These do have to be checked. I got to DM the mods, and while that's happening, people spamming, then got to scroll. Then chat gets too long to scroll through, lol. Shout out to Tony D. We'll have to figure out how to handle that. Yeah, it's probably like the hardest way to go about a giveaway. Man, dang. Tony D was like actually double checking as I said it. But yeah, let's see. Oh, no problem, Tony. Creighton C said, oh, no problem, Tony. I said chapstick first. You just couldn't scroll back far enough. First thing I said, chat, chapstick, send me my prize. Shout out to Creighton C. Let's see. Let's see, First time I've watched you, I swear I thought I had you on 2x speed. Shout out to Cal. You will be hilariously surprised that you are not the first person to ever say that. I talk in 2x speed. I watch YouTube in 2x speed. Which, by the way, shout out to Philion. Does anybody know Philion? Guys, I have like the weirdest YouTube rabbit holes. I'm on a Philion YouTube rabbit hole. He's just like he reacts to like funny internet stuff. I don't even really know what he does. He makes awesome content. He's the man. Go show some CandleMafia love to Philion. Philion or something like that. He's a pretty big YouTuber, but check him out. I like him. But I watch him on 2X. I watch all YouTube on 2X. I wish I could watch Netflix on 2X. I'm a fast mover, guys. I'm a fast mover. We're from New York. We're fast talkers. We're fast walkers. We're fast talkers. Down here in the ATL, I walk around and people are like moseying around, and I'm just like bobbing and weaving between people. They're like, that guy's got to be on drugs. Fun fact, I'm not. Just from New York. Shout out to Tony D said, funny enough, Nightbot can do this. I let a specific word, and the first person to match it exactly in chat wins automatically. Shout out to Tony D. You announced 2 winners. I think we have to honor both winners. I don't think there's any way around that. It is what it is. It's coming out of your paycheck, Tony. I'm just kidding. I don't even like making jokes like that. But yeah, we'll just honor both winners that Tony called because it was his mistake, and Tony's mistake cost us money. I'm just kidding. But yeah, we'll just shout out to FaZe. I think it was FaZe, and don't take what I'm saying don't take what I'm saying. Go by what Tony says. But the 2 winners that Tony said, we'll honor both. We have to. It's our mistake, and our mistake is not your loss. So there you go. Fast forward mode. Let's go, baby. But there we go. That's what we're looking at on and look at XRP continuing to push down here. So we'll see what happens. How's Bitcoin? How's good old Bitcoin doing? She's kind of just wiggling around. 45-minute red dot printing. Yeah, we'll see here. 1 hour red dot printing. Shout out to Tony D. Said you're not going to cut my fingers off again, right, Tony? I mean, I'm not going to do it. But, you know, someone in the family's got to do it, you know? Shout out to Tony D. It's not up to me, bro. It's not up to me. It's not up to me. You know, it's the rules. The family has rules, man. The family has rules. Shout out to Tony D. I'm just kidding. Shout out to Tony. But let's see. Congrats to both winners. Yeah, shout out to CandleMafia's John Cena. Yeah, no, it's on us. It's fine. Tony be swimming with the fishes. Let's go. It's gonna be swimming with the concrete boots. Yeah, crypto and stocks, mad at tariffs again. Yeah, that's the other thing too. Stock market coming down as well, right? This is pretty much what dragged down Bitcoin, honestly. Because to be quite honest, guys, like, you know, 4-hour money flow, like even still not looking horrible. I really don't like this candle. This candle looks pretty bearish in my opinion. Yeah, like VWAP's rolling back over. See if the short continues to pay us out. Not looking good for my aggressive long entry, for being honest. Let's see. Yeah, let's pull up the scalp levels here real quick. Come on, Bitcoin. Why you got to hurt our feelings like that, man? Come on. Yeah, nice little rejection from that golden pocket. But one thing I do want to look at here real quick. Let me pull up the see something here. Yeah, we are hitting this weekly value area low. Losing it at that. 15-minute money flow in the red. Oh, man. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. That'll teach you. That'll teach you guys. You want to get in. I always preach this, right? And again, like when I take stabs at aggressive longs, like I can lose this trade 100 times. Totally fine. But it just goes to show, right? Like the long setup being down here, like this is always the best entry. And this is kind of ties into like long-term spot buys as well. Like for a trade, is it better to chase or is it better to buy the fear, right? Well, in the terms of the long setup here, obviously, if you were still long from here, even on this retracement, right, you're already still in the green, right? Like you're not panicking. You're like, oh my God, we're pulling back. What should I do? Should I sell the bottom? Like, what should I do? Right? Like you're safe in your long position, right? And you already should have TP1 taken, right? Stop loss to break even, which puts you in a nice trade, right? Because if you stop out here, you get stopped out in profit and your short continues to pay out. Me personally, I will take a small loss and then the short will continue to pay out. But either way, just goes to show, right? Like chasing very rarely works. So just be careful. Let's see. My updating shop, shout out to Tony D, said my updating shopping list, garlic, onions, command strips, fabric softener, fingers. Shout out to Tony D. I'm not going to lie. That is probably the most accurate Tony D shopping list IRL I've ever seen in my life. Also, breath mints. Tony D said, oh no, Dave Digital said, okay, boss, it's a tough job, but I'll cut Tony's finger. I'll cut off Tony's fingers. Shout out to Dave Digital. Tony says, nuh-uh. But anyway, let's see. Okay, so let's continue on. We took a look at XRP. We took a look at Bitcoin. Let's take a quick look at Solonzo. What's our good old friend Solonzo doing here? And then we'll take a look at the alt list. We got Solana's on the alt list, right? So we'll just take a look at Solana. Rejecting the POC, which to be honest, like from a longer term perspective is not the worst look, right? Like this is what you would expect, right? This is what we've been looking at. Get above the value area low, flip it to support. Next likely place for price to go, POC. We come into that POC. Did you get any, yeah, no bear divs here, really. You had a little bit of an exaggerated bear div there. But you reject the POC, and obviously this is probably going to be a journey, right? If we are going to continue up through this profile, we have to anticipate that it's not going to be a straight shot to the upside from the value area low right to the value area high. Come up to the POC, expect some turbulence. But once we flip that POC, we can look to come into our next key levels, which remain the same as yesterday between the golden pocket and 786 value area high. 153.54 is the start of the golden pocket. Value area high 786 is sitting at 167.89. Simply put, that's what I'd be looking at, right? If we continue down in a bigger way, value area low sitting at 126.71 is going to be a key level to look at. And then this fib has obviously moved a bit. Put some confluence on that golden pocket value area low. You know, I don't love seeing the full rejection from the POC back down to the value area low. Typically, you will kind of like get a journey, but it won't bring you all the way back down to the value area low. So I'd be looking, you know, hopefully for some kind of a higher low to come in there. But if we look at market cipher B, these daily red dots incoming could give us bigger continuations down. It doesn't mean that the overall move up can't continue, but, you know, just for the local move down, could be a continuation here. 90-minute. Money flow coming out. That's not the best look when you have an incoming red dot. That is a market cipher B, 90-minute daily setup here with a daily red dot, 90-minute money flow crossover. You would anticipate the 90-minute money flow crossover into the red to give you the bigger continuation to the downside. So if that is the case, that is the sign I would watch for the continuation down on Solana. Watch that 90-minute if it comes in confluence at the same time as that daily red dot. But other than that, just kind of bing-bonging around in the range. Value area low, POC. Hopefully we can flip that POC at some point and come back up to the golden pocket / value area high 786. If we start losing the value area low, obviously this is not where we get overly bearish. But if we do wind up losing the 786 and getting the bigger drop down, the larger levels of support, I don't know if we're going to come all the way down here by tomorrow. We'll be able to assess the situation. But key levels below, still 107.42 at the value area high, and then 101.89 at the POC of the previous range. But right now, as long as we remain within this range, we could just look at this as our key levels, right? Let's see. You do have your anchored VWAP coming in here. This will move up as price comes down, but yeah, and then your local golden pocket. This is like an honorable mention, right? Anchored VWAP, POC. That could be an area to get a little bounce from, but overall, I would just be watching the volume profile. The place to long on this, obviously, was down here below the value area low, as always, right? I would not be chasing the long into the POC. But there you go. That's pretty much all I got on Solana, to be honest. We're just still sitting in that profile. Weekly green dot also looking to print here as well. It's going to take some time to potentially pop up and confirm. We got 4 days to confirm that weekly green candle, or weekly candle. Hopefully it's green. And then your 10-hour money flow, again, faking out into the red. What an annoying, money flow has just been super choppy, as the market has been choppy, right? That is just something that we have to anticipate and deal with as it pops up. Let's see. Okay, so let's take a look at Sui is next on the chart. Thank you for Rob's alt list here. Let's take a look. I think we have another Sui chart here. There it is. So, yeah, I mean, longer term, Sui, right? Let me take a look at this larger Fibonacci retracement. How are we doing on time? Okay, we're doing great on time. So, yeah, I mean, we have come to our golden pocket value area high confluence, right, of this previous range. That was our last kind of key level of support, and we are getting the bounce from that level, right? This is similar to Bitcoin's macro golden pocket retracement that we had from this low to the high, right? Bitcoin comes down, tests the larger level of support, golden pocket 786. Pretty similar on Sui, right? We get the big, come on. That's Solana. We get that bigger drop down into the larger golden pocket. You have to expect some kind of a bounce here, right? Whether that is going to be a higher low before putting in a higher high, right? A little harder to call, in my opinion, on the longer time frame, but we are getting the bounce. That is nice to see. Major level of resistance going to be sitting up here at 312. We're still pretty far away from that, in my opinion, but you do have confluence on this level. 312, big level of resistance if we can make it up there. It is pretty far away, right? We'd need a pretty nice pump on Sui to get up there. But let's take a look at the 5-day. We also have our 5-day green dot printing, which is, the case on a lot of other stuff as well. 6-day green dot printing, weekly green dot printing, almost, right? Very similar. A lot of this stuff looks similar on Market Cipher B. These weekly green dot guys, if we could get these to print, we are probably going to get some kind of a continuation to the upside. Simply put, right? Like whether it is going to be another lower high before another bigger lower low coming down back into this range to fill it to the low. We'll have to assess the situation once we get up there, but you do have confluence up there. Anchored VWAP from the high to, actually it's not from the high, pulled from the lower high. with your value area low, right? So if we do get the bigger move up, and the idea here would be, right, like you have your balance and then your previous area of balance right up here. Once you impulse or imbalance out of this range and get rejected, you're looking to come down to your value area high, and we even tested the POC of the range as well. That's your key level of support. That's where you're looking for a bounce. So if we could continue to bounce out here, you would be looking to get gravitated back towards this value area low. If we get a move down, key level of support kind of remains the same here, except I wouldn't take the golden pocket as seriously because it's already been tapped. So I would take that golden pocket off the chart, and I would just move this key level down to the value area high POC, right? So, kind of in no man's land here. You're just between two levels or between two balanced value areas. And, I mean, if you're not in a long from here, I wouldn't be chasing. I mean, even if you continue up here, a little bit difficult to chase that. But yeah, like you're just kind of waiting to see if you can come back up to your value area low. If you come back down, this is your key level support. Break back down below that POC at $2.05. I'd look for the bigger drop to the value area low. If we continue up, key level of resistance up there at the value area low, anchored VWAP. And let me just pull this to the high real quick. So yeah, this, if we continue up, the anchored VWAP from the all-time high could potentially become confluent with that level as well. And let me just pull a fib here as well. So yeah, POC on that fib pull, and then yeah, so I would definitely POC and your golden pocket. These are the next targets to the upside. This continues up in a bigger way. Target number 1, target number 2, flip that level, target number 3, value area high. But I'd be careful for lower highs and lower lows here. Why is that? Well, if we come on over to the 2-day, if it looks anything else, yeah, like 2-day money flow in the red still. Little sketchy. Same thing with XRP. You get the continuation up. That money flow just rolls back into the red. You're looking for lower highs and lower lows. Hopefully we don't have to endure that, guys. This would be brutal, guys. If we got to move all the way back up here, bet your bottom dollar everybody's calling for alt season, and hopefully it's the case. But if we just put in lower highs and we nuke back down here, like this would be absolutely brutal. If you thought people were bearish when Bitcoin was at 80K / 78K, like imagine if we get the move to 70 to 72,000 on Bitcoin and all the alts get the bigger drop down to their value area lows. That'd be brutal. But yeah, weekly VWAP coming up as well. So hopefully this would at least give us the continuation of the pop-up. So my overall analysis here, guys, is like based off the higher time frames on a lot of stuff, I think the continuation over time could be possible, but definitely like cautiously bullish on that with the way money flow looks. High time frame green dots can give you the retracement, but we cannot get overly bullish when we have money flow indicating the continuation to the downside. Let's see. Shout out to Thusi. I don't know how to say your first name, bro, but he said, I caught the long on Sui at about $2.07. Let's go. Sniped the low there, bro. Sniped the low. Almost. Yeah, 207. Not too bad, bro. Not too bad. Right on that value area high, and now you're up 30%. Let's get it, bro. Shout out to you, and congratulations on your win. I got Giga at like 0.01 and wrote it to 0.02, baby. Shout out to Sweet Bid McKee. Shout out to you, bro. Yeah, shout out to Francis. And I know you focus on crypto, but would you be able to take a look at the SPY? Yes, I'm going to take a look at Ondo really quickly, and then we will take a look at the SPY. Let's take a look at Ondo real quick. And Ondo in a similar situation here as well. Got a rejection off the anchor VWAP value very low. Rejection off that POC. Anchored VWAP confluence. I'm going to hide these anchored VWAPs really quick. But yeah, we broke out of the range, got back in, right up to the POC. I mean, yeah, things are really choppy right now. I'll be honest. Like, this is kind of, ugh. You know, you're playing around. You might kind of bing-bong around here. You know, key levels remain the same here on Ondo. We actually looked at Ondo not too long ago. You got to hold the value area low at 89 cents as support. It looks like you want to try to lose it right now. Come down to a lower time frame. I mean, if you can get back in here. With the POC, anytime you guys see a POC and a value area low so close to each other, right, either all the way at the high or all the way at the low, like really, usually the laws of the volume profile would call flip the value area low to support, POC's the next stop, and then flip the POC value area high is the next stop. However, normally POCs are in the middle of the range, right? So you flip the value area low. That's your big key level to flip for a big move up. That's your doorway to higher prices. But I would argue when you have a POC so close to your value area low like this, your POC is really the level you want to flip to support for the bigger move up. That's simply what I would look at. So I would say, this is technically the doorway to higher prices, but that POC at 93 cents is the real key level you want to flip. So get above that POC, flip it to support. I think the golden pocket is the next stop. I believe this is your, golden pocket sitting at $1.02 would be your next stop. 786 at $1.10 would be your next stop after that on your journey to get up to that value area high. But you got to get above that POC first. If not, if we get the bigger move to the downside, I will be looking at this volume profile. Get stuck under the value area high. We could get the bigger drop to fill this lower range. So this is, did you get any? Let's check the 30-minute. Yeah, you had slight bearish divs up here. But yeah, you're just kind of, it's hard, right? I would not be looking for a short here because you're technically at support. But I would just be looking at this from a TA perspective. Get a drop below the value area high. Get towards that POC, get to that value area low, and then I would be looking for potential scalp longs up here. If I were to look for a short on this, I would probably be looking to enter after a breakdown into the range and then on a bearish retest of that value area high, right? Oftentimes what will happen here is you will pull your fib, right? And like your fib will be, by the way, guys, don't pull your fib in public. It's super illegal. Anyway, if you do get the drop into your range and you get a bearish retest, this is where I would look for the bearish confirmations to just enter a simple volume profile trade from the high, right? And then target the POC and the low as your areas of interest. So yeah, that's what I would kind of look at there. It would depend on if we get stuck under here and really specifically if we get the local confirmations as we retest that golden pocket, if it's there, right? You might not get the confluence. This is like an imaginary fib that I drew. But oftentimes you break into the range, retest the value area high. If you can't get back above that value area high, you're going to look for that bigger drop down through the range. For the move up, you would really hope that you could get back above this value area low, and more importantly, the POC to get the bigger rip up to about $1.02. But really not a setup, a place where I'd be looking for a trade personally on Ondo. Looking at the higher time frames, let's take a look here. Your daily VWAP rolling over, not as bad looking as XRP with like the daily red dot basically there. 3-day, yeah, we'll see. I mean, these higher time frame green dots could give us the move up, but they're going to take time. Right? Like this has 5 days to confirm. Like this could get rejected before, this has 5 days to disappear for a big move down. So you can't really make decisions based off this for me personally. Yeah, let's see. 4 hour money flow is still pretty healthy. But yeah, I would be watching the key levels here personally. Yeah, you do have some confluence here of support on your value area high golden pocket. I would have to assess that as it comes down. But overall, I'd watch these key levels. Kind of hard to call a direction on this locally. 12-hour red dot printing, 45-minute money flow crossover into the red. This is also showing up on Bitcoin as well. You do have the 45-minute money flow in the red, fresh red dot as well. But you have the 45-minute money flow in the red and your 12-hour red dot printing. This could give you another, like similar to the daily red dot and the 90-minute money flow crossover into the red. That 12-hour red dot with the 45-minute money flow being in the red could be like an early signal as well. It's coming up, trying to get rejected. Super choppy on Market Cypher B right now. So that's why I'm kind of just playing it level to level. Just trading the volume profiles, getting in, grabbing, taking the profit when it's on the table, and jumping right on out of there. So yeah. Let's see. Yo, shout out to Cliff Boston said, bro, 16-hour and 1 hour, 1/16 strat might be in play. Yeah. Same thing as the 12-hour, 45-minute. 16-hour on Bitcoin's been confirmed. Doesn't mean that it's not the setup, but I assume you're probably talking about what were we just looking at? Ondo? Yeah, you might be talking about that on Ondo. It might be actually printing. Bitcoin, it's confirmed. Yeah, 16-hour red dot printing with the 1-hour money flow crossover about to cross it. This is actually a pretty clean Market Cipher B116 setup. You have the crossover into the red right as that red dot is printing. It's about to confirm in 34 minutes. Again, I don't love shorting into support like that, but that would be a setup. And then on the higher time frames, and remember, red dots would indicate the ebbs and flows in the market. Remember, your 16-hour money flow is crossing into the green here. So, there is a possibility that bearish 116 setup can give you an ebb or flow to the downside before putting in a higher low and having the higher time frame money flow indicating the trend would continue up. So, really kind of chopped up here, to be honest. Like high time frame money flow continuing into the green here. And then, locally, even the 45-minute money flow in the red, 12-hour red dot about to print, that would call for another move down. Yeah, kind of hard to call. High time frame money flow calling for the continuation up, but locally it looks like we might be able to get the drop. Yeah. All right, let's see here. Bada boom, bada bing. Yeah, shout out to Trey Flip said 4-hour red dot, 4-hour candle looks fugly. Yeah, not a pretty one. Not a pretty one. Yeah, 1-hour green dot gave you nothing. 1-hour green dot literally gave you a move down. Let me see something here. I think that was the most silence we've ever had on the Frankie Candles live stream. I'm not going to lie, guys. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, hopefully we could yeet on back up here, but I don't know about that. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you have your VWAPs coming up. Not something I would generally trade, right? I would just let this move. You do not have to catch every single trade. If you are out there learning how to trade, the worst thing you can do, and the last thing I would ever suggest is trying to catch every single move, right? Like, same thing in the premium Discord, right? Like when I was talking about this long setup. We had a setup here. We had some bullish divergences to the wicks, but I didn't like it, right? I even said that. Well, there's the recap, right? Don't like the first level. We wait for the better level. We get the level tapped with the 15-minute bullish divergence and some bullish CVD, and then boom, we get the move up. Literally playing out exactly as we wanted it to. But it takes waiting for that level to get hit and sitting out of the low probability trade, right? You have to be patient, sit out of that position, and sometimes that position will just take off without you. And you have to just either let it go, or if you can get an aggressive enough entry and you're entering on the way down, that's fine, right? But you really just have to have the patience to wait for price to set up. And in my opinion here, I would let this kind of do its thing. I would not be looking at this as like something I would be really that interested in trading personally. Maybe you hold that 786, reclaim the value area low, but again, your money flow is fighting against you here. So not something I would really want to long against. Yeah, shout out to the Lost Tribe said, trading is like Charmin Ultra. Trading is like Charmin Ultra, less is more. 100%. I would agree with that. Did we check Sol yet? Yes, we did. Shout out to Dar. You could go back. We did full coverage on Solanzo, as they like to call it. But yeah, there we go. There's Ondo. We took a look at Solana. We took a look at Sui. We took a look at XRP. We took a look at Ethereum. Let me see here. We had something else that we were going to look at. We took a look at XRP. I will do one more. Let's take a look. Let me come back into chat real quick. I thought we had a super chat for something. AVAX. We could take a quick look at AVAX. Let's see here, guys. We got the Aztecian Cactus Mosswater back on the show here. I haven't had one of these in quite some time, and by quite some time, I think like a month. Let's see here. Where's my actual AVAX chart? Come on. Am I blind? Where's my AVAX chart? Did I delete it? All right, we'll just pull it up manually. All right, here we are. Man, similar to the, yeah, I mean, listen, you got the move down to the POC. You're trying to break out of your range here. I'll just do the higher time frames here. VWAP rolling over as you're trying to break out of your value area high. This is not necessarily, 4-hour green dot looking to print. Yeah, weekly green dot is printing. 10-hour money flow is in the green. Let me check Lux Algo real quick here. Yeah, I would argue here. I'm going to give you the key levels on AVAX. It just stinks, right? Because like the fib that you would be looking for a higher low on is right into your value area high. And so it puts you in a really tight situation, right? Because if you're going to look for a long here, you're going right into the value area high, which if accepted back in, you're going to be going towards that POC. So it's like not a beautiful setup in my opinion. But let's see here. Overall, right? We were in our upper profile. We lost it. We came to the value area high of the previous range, came back in, got accepted, went to the POC. Now we're trying to break out. Very choppy here. You know, very key lines in the sand. Lose this value area low, value area high, get stuck back in. Could be going towards that POC, lose the POC, go to the value area low. Lower profile sits between value area high at 2171, POC at 1726, value area low at 1237. That's your lower range, right? If I were to look for something here, it's just not an area I'd be looking for a trade, to be honest. Maybe you look for a long off the POC, but that's already been playing out. Could you look for a short above the value area high? Yes. But if we pull up market cipher B, money flow starting to be in the green here on the medium time frames. 4-hour money, 5-hour money flow in the green, 4-hour money flow in the green. Yeah, I don't know. It's a sticky situation there. I don't like this, right? Like I like this is just no clear range here. It's just a slow grind down, maybe a slow grind up. I don't like it. I'm just going to give the key levels here on AVAX. Volume profile below, I just mentioned those levels. Key level to the upside, biggest level and line in the sand, in my opinion. Doorway to higher prices / value area low, sitting right here, 2670 or 2760. Sorry, I was dyslexic there for a second. Get a move up, flip that to support. That's where you can push in. I think we got to move this fib. This is an old fib. Let me see here from the lower high. Yeah, this will be your next major key level of resistance on AVAX, right? If we continue up, value area low, golden pocket confluence, that would be your doorway to higher prices. Break above that golden pocket. 786 is likely, in my opinion, at 3132. Flip that. POC is the next stop, 3610. Flip that, looking up towards that value area high. Just a game of volume profiles, right? And to be honest, if you come on down here to the lower time frames, or sorry, the higher time frames, we had the lower lows on price action into the POC, 2-day bullish divergence, prints, move out of that profile. So your hope here for the move up is to get accepted outside of this range, hold above that value area high, and then push into the upper range, get accepted for the bigger move up, right? And at that point, it's deviation below the low, right? Deviate below, that's your cheap asset. You look for it to return back into your range, fill it in full. Deviate above the high, this is expensive. You look for shorts back to the POC, lose the POC, back to the low. There's your deviation below the low. So if you could catch a nice little scalp long position somewhere here, you could potentially look for that to ride up to the value area low of the range. And then if you get back in here, you might be able to hold that for more of a swing trade if you're going to get that next full rotation of the volume profile. So that's VP1 and then VP2 down below. That's what I'd be looking at on AVAX. Not a ton of like clear confirmation. Red dot looking to print, 90-minute money flow coming out. That would make me think the continuation down could happen. So yeah, a little bit of a sticky situation. Not really a tradable situation in my opinion. I would have to wait for some other kind of key level to come in with confirmation. Let's see. Uncle Jesse says, I know how to play. Shout out to Uncle Jesse. What are we playing? What are we playing? I don't want price to go up anymore. Shout out to The Wall. Why not? Why don't you want price to go up? Please, for the love of God. About as clear as what's under the pyramids. Yeah. Shout out to World War. I wonder if saying that is not good for the YouTube algorithm, saying your name. Maybe we should start calling you 208. Shout out to you, bro. Shout out to Uncle Jesse. Said, if you appreciate the Mafia, make sure you hit that like button. Get that 1K likes now. Let's go, baby. Smack that like button. We don't care if you touch it with your elbow, touch it with your butt, headbutt it, lick it, kiss it. We don't care, guys. We don't judge. Just make sure if you're going to do it an odd amount of times. Short support. Shout out to Law Phone. I don't know how to say that. Shout out to you. Do not short support. Please, for the love of God, please do not short support. Yeah, the SPY. Shout out to Francis. We'll take a look at the SPY real quick. So yeah. Yeah, so we did get the little drop to the downside here. It's funny because we're just used to the crazy moves in crypto. These little drops down on SPY are just like not that, just like doesn't look that aggressive. But let's see here. I mean, very similar to Bitcoin, right? Like obviously Bitcoin is pretty much just tracks with traditional finance, right? We have our upper range, right? This is kind of like that 91K. I can get rid of this golden pocket. Whoops. From the high to the low. Boom. Boom. So yeah, I mean, very similar, right? Like Bitcoin gets to drop down to 80K. We have the upper range. If this continues up, right, like your big hope is that you can get back above this range, right? The coming in at 588 up to the value area high in conflict with the top of the golden pocket at 589. That is going to be the big level to get above. Get above that. We could potentially push up towards that POC, push into the value area high, flip that. Then you can maybe go off into new all-time highs. I would be careful, right? You got a lot of work to do here, but this is really that key range that I would be watching, right? We have come down to, let me pull some MPOCs here real quick. Yeah, we're holding the weekly MPOC here at 562. And that's where we got the bounce from. I mean, listen, as far as like the day plays go, right? Like it gave you the move down on Bitcoin for our short to continue to pay us out, but overall, like this is the big level that you got to get above. Like I'm not really like get me out of bed when this thing starts flipping this value area low, right? Other than that, right, we got to be pretty careful. Because, 4-day money flow coming out, 3-day money flow coming out, 2-day money flow looking similar to Bitcoin. So unless that fakes out back into the green in a big way, which hopefully it does if we get the bigger move up. But yeah, kind of similar to Bitcoin. It's like you could kind of apply the like fractal analysis on Bitcoin and just apply it to SPY and do the vice versa, right? Like I said, you just have range at the highs, big drop down. Like did we come into the big Fibonacci retracements? Maybe this one. Down to that golden pocket. You're looking to come back up here. Same thing on Bitcoin, right? Upper range, drop into the golden pocket 786, retracing into the value area low, right? So very, very similar on the SPY as Bitcoin. But those are the key levels that I'd be looking at just to give you the value area. Whoops. Value area lows sitting at 590.76. POC sitting at 598 almost. Flip that 786. That's where maybe, just maybe, you could start looking for that value area high and potentially all-time highs. You got to get above this level, right? Get me out of bed here, and then really get me out of bed as you flip that 786 to support. So that's what I would look for on the SPY. Let's see. Shout out to K Diggity. Said, you do a lot, stupid. You've taken time to help me personally, and I'm sure 1,000 other people. We appreciate you. Shout out to Stupid Bitcoin. What is going on, bro? Mad love and respect. Shout out to Stupid Bitcoin. We love you, bro. Said Grok 3 is now trained to rewrite all 150,000 public indicators on TradingView. What the heck? What the heck does that even mean, Stupid Bitcoin? You are not Stupid Bitcoin, bro. You are the opposite of Stupid Bitcoin. If you're out here coding the I don't even know. Grok 3, isn't that like Elon's AI, the Twitter AI or whatever? Shout out to Stupid Bitcoin. Lol. We gotta change your name, bro. You are not the stupid Bitcoin, bro. We're gonna get you to change that name. Yo, shout out to Law Phone says my short on Sui is a nail biter. I don't know where you're short from. But let's see here. 30-minute red dot, bearish divergence. Should we just go nuts? Should we just go nuts here? Bear div on the 30-minute. Oops. Hmm. 1 hour bear div. Incoming potentially. 8-hour red dot looking to print. Interesting. I'll be honest with you. Man, I wish that 4-hour red dot confirmed like a few minutes ago. Because if it did, I'd say, hey, you got a lot of confluence here for a potential money flow crossover on the 15-minute, the 24-minute, the 30-minute. You got the 30-minute bear div with your money flow coming out. It's kind of flat here, but it is generally trending out. 45-minute money flow coming back up, of course. Yeah, man, this money flow is like, we like to see the money flow smooth, right? We like to see that money flow just a nice little, ooh, yeah, right? We don't want this. This is not what we want on money flow. Whoa, right? We want nice and smooth trends. But yeah, that is a nail biter. You do have the divergences. Let that load up. Come on. Load it up. Slow it up that 5-minute. Look at that CVD. Oh, my God. You got some bearish CVD there. Let's pull that up on the 15-minute. Let's see. Trying to give you a, I will say this. If that short does come to the downside, not that you should ever react off of what I'm saying or anything like that. Please, for the love of God, do not just trade based off what some crazy guy says on YouTube. But I'll say this: if your short does wind up playing out, yeah, 256. That would probably be, me personally, for like a tiny little scalp there. That's a nail biter. If you do come down, I would look for it to come to this golden pocket. You have a golden pocket. You also have, for what it's worth, this is like a 5-minute value area low. 256. You got some confluence there on that golden pocket. Yeah, I really wish. I mean, you got your. Yeah, it's 3-hour VWAP coming up. Your 2-hour green dots printing. Oh man, that is a nail biter. Shout out to you, bro. I wish you the best of luck. If it does play out, I would look for it to come into that golden pocket, though. We'll see. But there we go, guys. That's a little local analysis, and hopefully, who said it? Who is? Forgot who said it was. Yo, shout out to Prestige Sound NYC. Shout out to New York. Says, Frankie, why do I keep round tripping my perfectly good winning trades? It's so annoying. Shout out to Prestige Sound NYC. This is the magic, dark magic, and the dark struggle of trading. It's I'll tell you exactly what it is, Prestige. The reason you're round tripping your winning trades is because of greed. You are chasing money. You are, if you are learning how to trade, it is very important that you do not chase the money. And this is not what people want to hear. Listen, you want to load up a DGen account and you want to try to gamble, that's total. I'm not saying you're gambling or not taking good trades. I'm just saying in general, if you want to load up a chart, an account and you want to gamble on some shots and try to hold it for a big move to try to make a bunch of money, is that a winning strategy? Absolutely not. You're going to wind up losing most of your money over time. It's very, very likely not going to play out in your favor. But the reason that's happening is because a couple of reasons, right? Number one, you're either just getting greedy and you don't want to, you're just holding out for more profit, which in basically said differently is you're chasing money. If you are learning how to trade and you chase money, it will run from you. I say this almost every live stream because it's the truth. If you chase money, it will run from you. If you are learning how to trade, trade based off your percentages, right? Understand that if you have a $100 account, you're not going to make $5,000 in a day. Very unlikely, right? Can you put your whole account on 100x leverage and get lucky long in the bottom before a massive leg up on whatever you're trading? Yes, but it's very unlikely and it's very risky, especially if you're using high leverage. So, and I'm not saying that you're just gambling prestige sound. I'm not saying you're doing this. I'm just saying in general, you're probably just chasing money, right? You're just like hoping to make more money because if you weren't chasing money, or maybe you don't have a plan, right? That's another thing. You might be either just chasing the money, you might be getting greedy, and you might not have a plan for the trade, right? For example, for the long setup here in the premium Discord that we had earlier, we had target number 1 sitting here at the value area low / golden pocket retracement, right? This is target number 1. At this point, if you're able to get an entry that gives you enough of a move to get some profit, right? If it's a winning trade, you come into target number 1. This is where you want to take some money off the table and move your stop loss to break even. And this is beautiful because you get to be greedy without the risk, right? Because you're basically saying to yourself, I'll take some money off the table, put it in my pocket, and if I move my stop loss to break even, I get to hold the rest of the trade and be greedy chasing more gains. Because what if it fills the whole profile? I'm going to want to hold through that, right? Well, sure. But it doesn't mean that you can't lock in some profit and move your stop loss to break even. And then that way, when you get stopped out of that winning trade, you'll actually make some money. So will that stop you if you want to do that? Will that stop you from getting stopped out of winning trades? No, but it will start to make those stop outs wins instead of losses, right? And then more often than not, if you have an actual plan, right, you will have, you flip that value area low to support, you look to come up to the POC, you can lock in some more profit. And then at that point, if it runs, it runs. And when you see that first take profit, you might see, say, on a smaller account, let's say you see $50 in profit. You might say to yourself, I'm not going to lock that. I'm not going to, if I have $50 in profit, that means I have to take $25 and lock it in. And that might not be like life-changing money for you, in which case you might be like, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to risk it, right? Because I want the life-changing money. This is fun. This is also gambling. So if you really want to learn how to trade to the point where you're going to be able to either grow an account or eventually get good enough at the skill of TA and trading to where you can actually load up an account with more money, a sizable account size, and make money consistently over time. You want to leave your full-time job and start trading full-time. If you want to get to that level, you have to be able to take small, non-life-changing profits on your small account, right? If you're up 10% on your account on a trade and you're not taking that profit because it's not life-changing money, right? If you have a $100 account and you're up $10 on your account, or you're up $10 on your trade, that's 10% of your entire account, right? 10% of an account, a $100,000 account, is much more than a $100 account, right? And it's all the same. Percentages are percentages. If you can make 10% on a $100 account, you can make 10% on a $100,000 account. There's literally no difference. It's the same trades, it's the same setups, it's the same risk management. But if you begin your trading journey by just chasing a ton of money and caring about going after money and not learning how to actually master the skill of trading and taking profit and risk management and not being greedy, you're never going to be able to grow a large account, right? You're not going to be able to like use bad risk management and like degenerately trade on a small account. And then just, if you load up a bigger account, you're just going to be gambling with a bigger account. But if you act like Tony D is a great example. He's been trading a lot recently, and he's been having to take very small wins, right? Because he might be up 5% over his whole account, but it's only like $5 in profit or whatever it is. That's not going to change his life, right? But he understands that he's on training wheels. He knows that 5% of his account, for example, it's not really, but like 5% of his account is $5, say, right? He knows that 5% on a growth on your account, especially in one trade, is crazy. Because if he's trading with $100,000, eventually That 5% move is going to be amazing. So if he could just master locking in small gains on his accounts and managing the risk and growing percentages over time, he knows that eventually when he loads up his account with more money, he's just going to be able to translate those wins onto a bigger account. Now, he's going to have to deal with the emotions of more money, right? When he's down a little bit, it's going to be a much bigger number. But you have to be willing to take those small trades. I needed that. Yeah, shout out to Prestige. Simply, you might just not have a plan. You might just be like randomly trying to long and waiting until you see an amount of money that's like, oh, wow, I made a lot of money. And even when you see that, you're going to be like, well, maybe I could see even more. You have to take money off the table. You have to, even if it's not, because think about it. If you're taking a bunch of trades, right? Let's say you make, like for example, let's just go to Bitcoin, right? Or raw Bitcoin. Let me just mark this out, right? Like let's say, let me come to a lower time frame, right? And we have our, right? You have your local range here. And you're saying to yourself, I'm going to take a long here, right? This is important. Whoops. Let's say you want to take a long here, and you're like, all right, cool, I'm long, right? If you're just longing support, and you're just saying, I hope we get a bounce, it's going to bounce all the way up, right? And you're going to be like, maybe I'll take profit. And if you're using a small account size, what are you going to be using as your measurement to take profit? You're going to be using the amount of money that you have, like the amount of money that you're winning, right? And if that money is on if you have a small enough account, to get that number to a sizable life-changing amount of money, you're going to have a massive, massive move. And that's kind of where you're like, okay, cool. Like you might look at this and you're like, okay, cool. Maybe this isn't the best example because it's a pretty small move. But like if you're on a small account size, you might be up $1 here, right? On a $100 account, right? But if you're not understanding the context of the market and you're just like, oh, this is only $1. I'm not going to take this. I'm just going to hold in, see if it goes higher. But you don't understand the context of the market. It's like, hey, you just filled an entire volume profile. This was actually a really nice move, and you're deviating above the high with a potential retracement back into the range, back down to the low, right? If you don't understand that, you're just going to be like, this is just $1. I'm going to hold it forever and see if I can make $500, right? But you're going to lose that 99% of the time. But once you start to understand the context of the market and what you're looking at, you'll be able to say, hey, this is $1. This is a 1% growth on my entire account today. That's actually really good. I'm going to lock in that $1. Is that $1 going to change your life? Absolutely not. But is you building the skill of growing your account $1 on each trade going to make you an unimaginable amount of money when you load up a larger account? Absolutely. That's what's going to build you the lifelong skill of trading, where you'll be able to extract money out of the market every single day, however you want, right? You're going to lose some trades. You're going to have bad weeks. You're going to have months where you're losing, right? You're going to lose money in a month. You're going to have bad days, right? No matter what. No matter how many days, how many years you're trading for, you're going to have bad weeks, bad months, no matter what. But if you want to master the skill of trading, take the money out of the equation. This is the biggest. I know it sounds stupid, but the best way to get good at trading is to forget about making money. Master the skill of trading. Master gaining those percentages because gaining a percentage on a small account is the same trade, the same setup, right? You might only make $1 on this trade, but if you're in $100,000 position here instead of the smaller position size on your $100 account, right? Maybe on a small account you only make $1. But if you had a $100,000 position size here with a larger account, this would be like $1,600, right? It's the same trade. You might make $1 on this move. I might make $2,000. The only difference, we take the same trade, the same risk management, the same everything. I just have the bigger account. That's all. And you can get that bigger account too. But you have to start off being okay taking that $1 in profit. If you have a $100 account and you grow it to $103 in one day, that's crazy. That's 3% of your entire account. You have to understand the percentages. And then you grow the account size. Again, I'll just say it one more time. Growing 3% on a $100 account is the same trades, the same TA as a $100,000 account. Don't chase the money. It will ruin your ability to learn how to trade. That's how you make money. I promise you. But guys, with all that being said, but you can lose more. Doesn't make sense. Shout out to JoJo. I don't know exactly what that means. I guess we'll go with a bigger account. You would lose more. Yeah, but it's all relative. It's just all percentages, right? So like 1%, right? For me personally, I would recommend if you're learning how to trade, right? Only risk 1% of your account, right? So on a $100 account, you would only risk $1 on each trade. That does not mean you can only put $1 on the trade. It means that if you get stopped out of the position, you only lose $1, right? A lot of people think that when you risk $1 on a trade, it means you can only take $1 and put it on the trade. That's not what that means, right? Risking $1 means, or 1% of your account, I'm just using a $100 account size as an example. Risking 1% of your account is, on a $100 account, is if you get stopped out and lose the trade, you will only lose $1. That's all that means, right? Now, on a larger account, obviously that 1% is going to be bigger, right? If you have a $100,000 account, you lose $1,000, right? But the accounts, the percentages are the same, right? It's just it's relative. So I don't know if that's exactly what you meant, but yeah, that's what I would be. That's kind of what I would say. But guys, yeah. So shout out to oh my God, I can't even say that. Joji. Hopefully that makes sense for you. BTC needs 500 points to close better today for upside. Shout out to K Pat. Wow, these names are hard today. These names are hard. But yeah, hopefully that makes sense for you guys. Obviously, you lose more on a higher account, but again, it's just relative. It's all percentages. Shout out to Irvin says, can you recommend a free TA demo site? If you're talking about like demo trading, you could demo trade on TradingView. Okay. You could demo trade on TradingView where basically, let me just pull up a clean chart here, right? So you can, am I tripping? What is going on here? Right, so you could come into bar replay mode, right, and you could replay live price action, right? So, for example, actually what I'll do here is, let me go back to current price, right? We'll go back here to the little range that we were looking at this morning. Actually, you know what I'll do? I'll use the Frankie Candles Essentials. Shout out to my free indicator by Lux Algo, guys. Check it out. Search my name on TradingView, Frankie Candles. Make sure it's the one by Lux Algo. And I do have custom settings here. So let me go external. Boom. And then we'll go Market Cipher B, light blue wave. And then we will go ahead and that's what I like. So yeah. So this is, here's your volume profile, right? Boom. You have your deviation below the low, right? We had our golden pocket here that we were watching. It's probably going to take me a second to find the one that we were looking at. I think it was this one. Bada boom. You're looking. Oh, come on. That's so annoying. Bring back my dang indicator. There we go. Right, so you're looking for the bullish divergences. I'm not going to do this like in perfectly, but we'll just say you caught your entry there, stop below the low. You're targeting potentially up to the value area high, but that's not your first take profit, right? So for here, just to show the bar replay mode on TradingView, you go into bar replay mode and you could say like, hey, I'm gonna buy here, right? And then you can go ahead and play it through. Let me take off this fib just to unconfuse everybody, right? Disappear, please. There we go. So you're entering your long position, say, right? And then you're looking for that continuation up. Really annoying that it's just the volume profile keeps disappearing because we're in bar replay mode, right? But you have target number one, which is the value area low, right? So at that point, you're taking partial profits, moving your stop loss to break even. You're now in a guaranteed risk-free trade, guaranteed winning trade, right? You have profits locked in, stop loss to break even. You're saying to yourself, well, hey, if this continues up, I can continue to capitalize on the move. If it comes back down, I lose, right? But then you can see here, you can actually set your take profit, set your stop loss, and you could just kind of demo trade, right? And then you could close it, and it'll keep track of your profit here. So you can go back and back test on that. I would personally recommend doing it on an actual exchange. If you check out Blowfin or Femex, link in the description down below if you want to use our affiliate links. But they both have demo mode, and the reason I recommend that is because it's a one-to-one simulation of what you're going to be doing on the actual exchange. So if you go to Femex or Blowfin, the exact interface that you're going to be actually trading on with real money is going to be, they have just a one-to-one simulation. It's the same thing, live price action, and you get to use all the bells and whistles on the exchange so you can kind of get used to what what it's like trading on the actual exchange. And VMX and Bluefin both have really, really, really good demo modes. You don't have to pay for it. It's obviously free. And it's risk-free, right? So there you go. Shout out to Lakeville said, thank you for gifting that Frankie Candles membership, bro. I appreciate you so much, dude. And who got it? Who got it? Shout out to Adrian P. Got that free membership. But guys, of course, we went late again tonight. But dang Stream Deck, the dang Stream Deck, guys. With all that being said, that's all the time we got for tonight's live stream, guys. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with Bitcoin. Hopefully, only come out of our replay mode here. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll watch that 90-minute money flow. See if it brings us back to the downside. But I am holding the scalp long. I'm holding my long from lower, and I'm also short from the top, with profits locked in on everything except for the little scalp long that I just entered. So there we go. Let's see. Shout out to Chase. Said Freddie said we're in a simulation. I don't know who Freddie is, but I would assume that we are probably in a simulation. A lot of smart people think there's a much higher chance that we're in a simulation than not. And if you've lived my life, you would probably think we live in a simulation as well. But with all that being said, guys, that's all the time we got for tonight's live stream. I appreciate every single one of you guys for hanging out till the end of the live. Smash that like button on your way out. And shout out to the 2 winners of guessing that I had a plastic water bottle cap on my desk. There it is in all of its glory. But we're going to be sending you some free crypto. But thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same place, same time. Right here, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Right here on the Frankie Candles YouTube channel. That's all I got. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong. Dang Stream Deck. Bing bong.
Coach, what's next for me, Joe? I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the f is it? They should have had them 2 bells ready. Space shine for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, don't know what is in me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working, I'm up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah.
I like the Stream Deck, guys. I like the stream. I'm not gonna hurt it. Tony D's fingers are already coming off. We got to keep the stream. No, Stream Deck's okay, guys. It's unplugged, but it was yeah. I was just looking at it. I wanted to take it off and maybe reset it. I wasn't gonna smash it on the desk. Just looking at it. I'm just looking at the Stream Deck is safe, guys. No need to call SPS Stream Deck Stream Deck Protective Services. Anyway, I gotta go, guys. Hasta pasta. Bing bong.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, maxed out, put the pedal win by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like. Yeah, you about to see me on demand like. You know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't ever going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know.